If you would like to skip our preamble, there is a timestamp in the description down below, and you can get straight to the episode.
Hello, my name is Robert Wylde. I run the channel Wild Times Media, and I'm also the one who played Veil of Shadows in Season 1 of Dungeons & Dread, and I'm also the lead editor for Dungeons & Dread. And I'm joined today by my brother, Clyde Wylde. He is the player who played Gijil in Season 1 of Dungeons & Dread, and he is the Dungeon Master for Season 2, which is what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah, so we wanted to do a second season after we finished Season 1. So this is kind of the overview of the show. So if you don't mind just sticking with us for just 2 or 3 minutes, we're just going to kind of give you some context of why this is not a full season, but a pilot to Season 2. The season was going to kind of be a part of what we were going to call kind of a Dungeons & Dread anthology. And the idea was every single season was going to have a different DM. And they're all going to be short form, like 10 to 12 episodes long, each one kind of being about, an hour and a half to about 2 hours long.
Every new season would have took place in a different setting, in a different world, sometimes more high fantasy, sometimes low fantasy, sometimes it would be more futuristic, and so on and so forth. Dread is a very good game in that it has no general setting. It's more of a framework for stories to be told in a very suspenseful way. And that's what made the anthology really interesting to us, was that we could tell all kinds of different stories and create a very interesting and diverse show.
Every single season, we'd have, the same cast members, and we would have a different DM telling a different story in a different world every single time. It was going to be something kind of cool and unique that most other D&D shows don't do, which was what we were really excited about walking into Season 2. We got a new cast member. His name is Benjamin Nitchman. You'll hear him in the show. We were going to have this really good overall great time, but things didn't quite go so well.
Due to real-life complications, and scheduling problems with some of our players, it just never really ended up working out. It was in development. We sat down for a session 0. We had our characters created. We had ideas for maybe cool things we could have done with our characters, and we fleshed out our backstories and their personalities and everything, but it just never really fell through. We had a lot of ideas that we were going to include in each new season. In this season, more specifically, we're going to add more audio sound effects. We're going to add some more cool music. We were going to have a really cool map. And it was going to be more of an audio drama in a lot of ways than an actual game of D&D.
So the show has been permanently canceled. However, we are releasing this as a pilot. And we did have some ideas for Season 2. And I feel it's good to be transparent with you guys about what was planned. First thing is, since I took over, I want to rework the tower system. I wanted it to be more of a risk-reward system than what it was. Season 1 was kind of a fun frontier in the sense we were kind of discovering how to do all this, and it was kind of a fun, starting point in that sense. So we learned a lot, and we took what we learned from Season 1 and we put it into Season 2. You'll see in the show how the reworking of the tower system is used. I wanted to introduce a new character that we were actually playing with being in every single season, a different kind of character every single time. His name was the Master of Fate. He was kind of a meta character, and he was kind of the idea that when we're going to go pull from the tower or something like that, a character would then take us out of the experience and bring us into a more meta kind of environment. It also would lend itself to all sorts of fun kind of narrative possibilities of what you could do with that. You'll hear him in this episode. He is a really poor impression of Rod Serling, but hey, I thought it would be fun. Again, I wanted it to be more of an audio drama. I really wanted to play more into the dread aspect of Dungeons & Dread a little bit, and I decided that one of the popular things of the 1920s, 1930s was the audio drama, and so we really wanted to play into that. So the story of Season 2 takes place in this large metropolis called New Errol, and we followed 4 characters who belong to this government agency called the BPS, or the Bureau of Public Safety, and they're kind of down on their luck. They are hoed down, kind of poor, cheap as can be kind of detectives they're not really detectives, they're more like glorified helpers, if anything. And it's about them getting swept up in this huge mystery and conspiracy being led by the government and all the crime families and syndicates in this city. The big mystery is that the power is going out in the city and no one knows why. It's been going out for the last decade or so, and everybody wants to know what's up with this, and our four main characters will get involved in this big, huge conspiracy about the power and whether or not it's going to go out or not, and what powers the city. So this is a mystery through and through. The first episode establishes that mystery as well as establishing our characters, and it's kind of a big introduction to the world, and it was supposed to set up kind of the overall story that would be told by the players and myself. So with that being said, please enjoy the pilot. We worked really hard on it. Even though it's not going to be a season, we are trying to fully produce this like if it was an episode. The only thing it doesn't have is the art that you would see of our characters doing something. So enjoy Dungeons & Dread Season 2.
Fate. The development of events beyond a person's control. Fate is said to be determined by supernatural power. This is the classic definition of the word. This simple concept holds power for many who believe in it. It's a unique idea, how our destinies are being puppeteered by an unknown force beyond what we may know. Fortunately for you and I, no one can control our destinies. But not so much for those in this story that's about to unfold. For you see, in this story, I am the master of fate. This so-called judge of what may come. I pass judgment through a tower of my making. Tonight, you'll be listening to a story of crime, corruption, and what it may mean to do the greater good. In this audio drama, we follow four down-on-their-luck heroes, who all live in the deteriorating city of New Errol. Once belonging to a more noble race of dragons, the fortress was taken and conquered by man and its united allies. Now the city sits as a commonwealth separated by a strait of ocean from its greater keeper known in this story as the Republic. For 130 years, an uneasy and unstable relationship has been maintained, until 12 years ago. The people of this island had enough of their conquerors and decided to rebel. 2 years of carnage and bloodshed washed over the city and brought it even further into decay. Now, with all tragic histories, the rebellion failed and the Commonwealth stands. Keeping the peace and helping those in the city falls to an organization called the Bureau of Public Safety, the organization our poor subjects are trapped in. Even though they don't know it yet, their fates are linked. They've all pulled from the Tower of Fate. Their lives now forfeit to me, so join me in conducting this audio experience tonight on Dungeons and Dread. We see darkness. Nothing but black. In a split moment, we see a light bulb. Flicker to life. Only a second later, it goes out. The bulb returns to life again, only to see, we've panned out to see where it sits. On the front of a dingy door with a worn down metal sign saying happy hour 4 through 6. At that moment, the light goes out again, and we see black once more. Then, the single light turns on as every other light around it turns on. We hear kind of the power return. And at that moment, life kind of comes back to the city. As we keep panning back, we see this tunnel, and it's cluttered. We see buildings stacked upon each other. If you were to look up, you'd see nothing but darkness and pipes above. You can't see the sky, only the darkness that sits. What you also see is water coming down, almost like a light drizzle. It's almost an artificial rain as it slowly starts to fill the filthy streets of New Errol. You see figures and people walking by with large umbrellas to keep off the sewer water, as they're keeping with big hats and big things to protect themselves, large coats. It is a little colder down here, as there is no sunlight. as we keep panning back, we kind of turn the camera around. What we see is we kind of see some steam kind of engulfing a sign. And that sign, it says, Finn and Son's Noodle Shop. And at that moment, we kind of pan down, in this kind of wide shot, we pan back. We hear the sounds of footsteps, a busy crowd, the artificial rain, and we see at an empty bar only one figure, sitting there at the bar. At that moment, we cut to Albert Albertson. Please, would you like to describe yourself, my friend?
My name is Albert Albertson. Don't call me Mister. That was my father. So Albert, he's a pretty simple man. He's got himself a nice coat on, a nice undershirt. He's got one of them news caps on. Keeps the rain off my head. I got floppy big old ears and kind of bluish purple skin. Got these wonderful green eyes. I've heard that they're quite charming, but that also they may also have wanted something out of me, but I don't know. I got gloves on just because it's so cold outside, and I just got the standard look. Got a nice, good, full brown beard. Doesn't go over my lips though, so it just keeps my chin warm. I don't really care much about my face being as warm.
Is that it?
That would be it, sir.
So as you're sitting there waiting for a bowl of noodles, you kind of feel the cold breeze behind you. You hear the crowds behind you, kind of that drizzle again, kind of behind you. And out coming in front of you is a small goblin. He's got like this salt and pepper hair. He's wearing this dirty shirt and this big dirty apron. He walks up, and carrying with him is a big piping bowl of soup. He places it down in front of you, and he goes, Albert, got your usual?
Thank you there. I'm gonna look at the soup here. What's in the soup?
What's in the soup? It's noodles. You got some onions in it. You got some type of meat in there. You don't know what.
This is the mystery stuff. I like this. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's always savory though. So, and sometimes if you're lucky, you may get two different kinds of meats. I don't know what they are. One's dark and one's sort of pinkish, but that's the way it is. So I'm gonna take it. And,
start eating it. So you see that there's chopsticks that you can kind of eat it with. And as it's happening here, you see Finn is his name, named after the shop. He comes up and he goes, so, anything new happening in the world of the BPS?
Well, the rain's not stopping, and the people keep moving, and life keep going on. But aside from that, not much. There, Finn. What about you? I've just,
Same old, selling noodles, giving it to people. They eat the noodles, and I make a living. Speaking of, you gotta pay me some, friend.
Oh, yeah. How much is that for the noodles?
It's gonna be 3 notes.
3 notes. Let's see here. So I'm gonna go into my little pouch here.
Specifically the copper one.
My purse. I'm gonna go into my purse, and you said 3, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Then 3 to be. There you go.
So as you kind of hand him the notes, what happens is that you hear kind of a phone in his shop go ding, 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 and he goes, give me a second, Albert.
Yeah, better go get that.
You see this little short dude. He kind of walks down some some steps at the bar. As he kind of and he walks down. You hear his kind of feet going. You hear the crowd kind of going in the background. As it happens, you hear him. He picks up the phone. He goes, yeah, all right, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Okay. Anything else? You want me to bring a bowl? Okay. All right. Bye-bye. You're ding. Happens, you see he kind of nods back up. He walks up to you and he goes, hey, Albert, that was your secretary.
Oh, Evie?
Oh, yeah, she wants you back.
Duty calls, I guess.
Oh, and she wants a bowl of noodles.
All right, I assume to go.
Yeah, and you're paying for it.
All right, just order, did she want anything specific, or,
She just said, I want a bowl of noodles.
Get her the one with the pink kind. She liked the color in it.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do it with the pink kind.
Yeah.
As he sits there, you see he starts to walk off. Albert, what are you going to do?
I'm going to look over to the people passing by while he gets them noodles, And I'm gonna take in a nice waft of the air. What's this place smell like?
I want you to roll a Constitution check.
That, my friend, is 13.
It smells rancid. It is not a pretty smell. It smells like sweat, sewage, lots of cigarettes, and alcohol.
Well, the world be as the way it was when it first was conceived. And I'm gonna take a cigarette, I'm gonna light it, and I'm gonna just blow out some smoke. Just as foul as always been, I guess. But then again, that's why they invented smoking.
So as it happens, you see the bowl kind of gets right behind you. It's kind of in this like kind of cup, and it's good. It's all ready to go. And you see Finn goes, "Have a good one, Albert."
Thank you there, Finn. It was a pleasure as always. I'm gonna take noodles and...
As you kind of pick up the noodles and you hear the sound of like the off the thing, you hear a ding, and we actually cut to the sound of a door opening up. We're now in a bar. And as we're in there, it's in the middle of the day, so there's not really a lot of people in here. But it's a very nice, quaint bar. And as we see a gentleman walk in, and Bartholomew. Would you like to describe what you look like?
Yeah, right. So it's name's Bartholomew Kolb, to be specific. Like, looking at this figure, you see kind of a stockier shoulders, a bit shorter, about 5'7". Probably weighs around 160, maybe a bit more, kind of stocky. You would say he's got a thick leather coat. He's got a round leather jacket, really. And he's got some nice, just kind of jean-like material pants, some sturdy-looking boots. You say he's got a nice, rather, it's dirty, but it's as nice as it can be. A little grey fedora he's got on. As he takes it off, you see dark hair that's slick backed, shaved on the sides, pretty close cut, kind of almost like a crew cut, you might say. And you see this figure who, at first glance, looks human, but a little bit closer, longer glance, you would note that one of his canines sticks out a bit further, almost like a tusk, and you would see dark, beady eyes, a bit more of a squarish-like jaw, and the skin is a bit more of a greyish colour. It's some type of half-orc, some type of orcish blood that runs in his veins. He walks in, hands in the pockets, and makes his way inside to the bar.
So you notice there's this, it's actually a nicer bar. It's got these nice wood floors. The bar is really nicely well kept. You notice that it's very kind of calm in here, you know. It has a nice atmosphere. There's a lot of candles lit in here. They don't really use electricity, as that's kind of been unreliable recently. As you kind of walk in, you sit down at the bar and you see another half-orc kind of approach up to you. And this half-orc looks similar to you, actually, in a lot of ways. Maybe just a little bit more orc-like, but same black hair, kind of a nice, well-built gentleman. He's got this nice shirt on. He's got an apron on, and usually he'd wear a coat over it, but he's working right now. And he comes up and he goes, "Oh, hey, Bart, how's it going?"
How's it going, Tony?
Usual.
Usual. Well, how's the family?
As good as it can be. He sits there and he pulls out a cup and he pours some coffee into the cup. He puts it in front of you, and he goes, business, weirdly enough, has been kind of slow. These concerns with power and all. People don't like to leave their homes.
Right.
Criminals on the streets.
Well,
I don't know.
Do my best that I can to help clean that up. I want it to be safe for you and, your lovely wife.
He goes, well,
Where's the kiddo?
Hey, hold on. He sits there and he calls up and he goes, hey, Junior! And what happens, you see kind of running around the corner, you see another little half-orc, and you see this kid, really, really not well kept at all. Big kind of frizzy hair, wearing just the most simple clothing you can, big tusks. This kid looks the thing is, this kid looks kind of human, but the thing is, he looks like an orc, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So this kid runs up, and he's just like, how you doing? Oh, He sits there and he comes to give you a big hug.
Oh, right. There's my favourite nephew, and I'll rustle his hair.
He goes, Uncle Bot. He goes, how's everything going? Have you been catching bad guys like usual?
Well, just the other day, we managed to get a cat out of a tree.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Was the cat okay?
Well, it was pretty dastardly. He'd gotten caught up in some wires, you see. Poor thing kept moving. We couldn't get it to stay still.
Oh, no.
But what we did is, well, you remember Albert?
Yeah.
I call him Dog. He's a doctor, right? So he pulls out a can of tuna, right? And he holds the fish out. And the cat stops what it's doing straight away. And he's just staring right at it. And when it did that, the rest of us jumped on and we ripped him out of the wires and we pulled him back. And the cat was just fine.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Just another day at the BPS.
You know, I really like what you guys do. You know, I think what you guys do are really, really good stuff. And as he keeps trying to continue on, you hear another phone ring kind of in the back. You hear ding, 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 ding. You see Tony kind of looks at you like
I'll just kind of wave at him, and I just kind of I'm gonna pick him up and walk him over to is the piano still there?
Oh, heck
okay.
yeah, it is.
I'll walk over and sit him down and be like,
Right now, important part of being a member of the Bureau of Public Safety, right, is that your mind's got to be sharp.
Yeah.
Your mind's got to be... Now, you've been practicing like I told you.
Of course I have.
All right, well, give me a C chord then.
He sits there. He does a decent C chord. He, plays a C chord. It's pretty decently done.
okay. How out of tune is the piano? Just
It hasn't been tuned in.
I figured.
We'll say a while.
okay.
Be like, well, that's good. Now, here's the thing. You've got to have your hands. You got to lift them up a bit more. You're too flat. Okay, you got to be ready.
Like
Right?
a spider.
Yeah, it's a good way to put
Like a
it.
spider.
There you go. I'm gonna slap him on the back of the head.
That's a good mind you got in there, rattling around.
I'm gonna grab his head and kind of roll it around.
Hey, just remember, no matter what people say about you, your mind is always the strongest part of your body.
Like you, Uncle Bot.
That's a good lad, and I'll give him a hug, kiss the top of his head, and I'll go and grab my coffee. And what's Tony doing?
So as it happens, Tony walks up as you grab your coffee and
Yeah.
he goes,
Hey, got a call from your secretary. She wants you to come in. Apparently, some type of call that you had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the tip. Hey, tell that pretty wife of yours I said hello. And, bruv, keep safe, yeah?
Hey, I need you to keep safe. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Oh, I know. Trouble just seems to find me, but you know how I deal with trouble.
And I give him a wink, and I'm gonna slap kind of his shoulder, and
gonna
then
kinda do the same
and I'll give him a hug, and then I'll walk out, put my hat back on, and walk out with a coffee cup in hand.
So as you kind of do this, it kind of frames as you kind of put your coffee, your coat on, and you kind of walk over and you open the door. As you kind of open the door and it goes and you see a reflection in kind of what was the glass door. And what happens, we see a reflection in a horn being polished. And we open to a shop, a salon, for instance. It's called Shiny Horns and Hair Salon. And we have kind of a cut where it's almost a camera pans down and we follow it off of kind of that quick cut of the horn, and it comes down and we see the face of another one of our main heroes. Shane, would you like to explain what you look like?
Howdy. It's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Shane West District. As the horns would presume, I am a satyr. 5'9" in stature, 150 pounds square off. Keep it that way for appearance's sake. He is always donned in a green overshirt, white vest, beautiful matching green pocket square. There might be a rip in the shirt underneath to make it match, but you do what you gotta do. He's waiting in this chair as he does every single day, making sure his horns are ship-shape and shiny-winy. But you'll notice on the left one there is a bit of a scratching up. You gotta light your matches somewhere, you know. And as we look at the mirror side of the salon, you'll see an all-black owl just sitting, looking at him, kindly but fairly. And he's also got a giant ball and chain on the side of him. Other than that, he's about as charming as they come and is probably flirting with every woman in the room. Pleasure to meet you. West District.
So as it happens, you kind of
What an introduction.
So as you kind of sit there, you kind of feel like this really quick towel's going across your. And you see there's this an older tiefling guy. He's kind of taking care of you today, and he has this big kind of scraggly beard, and he's got kind of this well-kept hair. He's also got really shiny horns. And as you sit there, he's sitting there, and he's like, "Well, you know, Shane," he's like, "your horns are becoming harder and harder to polish with every single day."
I can feel it. Yeah.
He sits there. He's really going to town to make sure it looks good.
The price we pay for beauty, right?
Yep. He goes, "You know, it might cost you a little extra today. I'm getting a workout."
Yeah. You think?
Yeah. And at that moment, what happens is that the lights come.
Well, figures.
You see, it's all dark inside. And what happens is that you see he's still polishing your horn. He's like, "Just because the lights are off doesn't mean I gotta stop polishing." You know? And so he's continuing to go. And at that moment, what you see is the lights kind of, as you can see, kind of the lights kind of flicker. You know, kind of, they're all coming back to life. And you notice that he's like, "Oh, look, I can see myself now."
Damn upper crust. He mutters to himself as he watches the lights flicker. Great job, bud. Thank you. No, how much is it?
Silver note.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He'd slide a silver and 2 copper as a tip.
So he sits there, he picks up your notes, he counts the paper money, and what happens, he sits there and he puts it in his kind of what looks to be a vest. And he goes, Now, Shane, I worked real hard on those horns. Don't go around screwing them up."
As he says that, Shane will take out a matchbook and strike one off on his left horn and light his pipe. You see, I said pain is the price of beauty. But pain can never be circumvented in the face of pipe smoke.
You see, he sits there and goes, "Get out of here. I'll see you next week."
Tomorrow. See you then. And you'd hear his hoofs as he walks out the door.
As what happens is you kind of hear the door open up when you hear your hoof kind of hit the ground. We cut to a mug of like a cup of coffee just on a newspaper, right? And on the newspaper it says "Scuffle at the Gold Drake Casino" on it. Big headline. Really there. It's this dirty old paper, and a little bit of the coffee kind of splashes on to the paper, kind of staining it a little bit. And as that happens, we see a hand come around and grab kind of the handle of the cup. And as we kind of follow the cup of coffee kind of coming up, we see a pair of lips as it takes a sip. And we kind of pan out. And Zarga, would you like to describe what you look like for me, please?
Yeah, so name's Zarga Felbest. He's a big old hobgoblin, 6'2", red skin, big old pointy ears. He wears his very close cropped hair. He's bald and trying to hide it a little bit by making it just kind of fuzzy. But his big defining feature on his face is he's got this big old mutton chop like sideburn mustache that just leads all the way down from the top of his ears across his lip. He's got his 2 tusks that protrude from the bottom of his mouth, and he's a big guy. He's got some muscle on him, but he's past his prime. He's got a little bit of a beer gut, and his clothes. At one point they were nice, in very sharp contrast to Mr. Shane over there. He wears kind of ratty work pants, some dusty brown loafers, stained. It used to be white, now it's kind of a cream color shirt. Big old suede jacket with velvet lapels going down. He wears a big purple kerchief coming out of one side. Always has his black fedora on, except when he comes in buildings. So he's sitting there drinking his coffee. Could you watch it next time I was reading that paper?
Yes. You see, he's kind of this taller, kind of half-orc, kind of
bulkier guy kind of walks away. Kind of
Yeah, screw you too, pal.
As it happens, you feel kind of this is an outside kind of little vendor. You feel kind of the drizzle of the pipe water kind of coming behind you. You hear the sounds of people walking behind you. It is a wonderful day. The aroma is just perfect. And as you're out there and you're kind of holding the cup of coffee, what would you like to do, Zarga?
Well, first off, he's gonna reach inside his jacket pocket and he's gonna pull out a flask. He's going to pop that flask open, and the smell of Caliban whiskey just goes up into the ether. He's gonna take a nice whiff. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. And he's gonna pour it a couple of drops into his coffee. He's gonna pop the flask closed, gonna swirl the coffee around, and take a big old gulp. Nothing like good old coffee and whiskey. Screw this place. And he's gonna stand up. He's gonna grab the newspaper, tuck it under his arm, and start walking to the bus. Not the bus. Start walking to the skyline.
So as you kind of sit there, you notice that the water's kind of coming down on you. People are kind of bumping into you. It's
Hey,
really
hey,
fun.
watch it! I'm walking here.
Yeah, screw you, what?
Yeah, screw you too.
So as it happens, you see people are kind of bumping into each other as you're kind of walking away, and you kind of come up to this big, huge, towering station. It almost perturbs. It actually goes into the skyline. This thing is massive. It's unimpressive to you. You've seen it hundreds of times, but
I take this thing every day.
it is absolutely what would be a magnificent marvel of technology. And as that happens, you kind of go on and you kind of walk through the kind of what seems to be the station. You see kind of steam and smoke kind of perpetuating the station area. As you kind of walk through the steam, we cut to Albert. Since you were the first one to leave, and first one to be told kind of what's going on, you are walking down a street. We hear your footsteps kind of people are kind of walking. You bump into someone once in a while. It's just that crowded. There's no way of avoiding it.
It's just the way it has to be, you know. It's just the way it is.
You notice that some people are sitting there and they're just smoking or they're just drinking. They just depressingly are sitting there. As you walk by, you see your local dentist. He's sitting there on on what looks to be like this kind of like half elf guy, and he's another goblin, and he has like these big pliers in his mouth, and he's like, "Oh, hey there, Albert. How's it going?"
It's going pretty good there. You might want to angle yourself up just at about 2 degrees.
Ah, thanks, man. And as you see that, you kind of hear him. You hear this crack, and you hear this guy go. As you kind of, he's like, "It's a mola. It's a good one."
Yep, just like a carrot out of a patch, eh?
Yeah, you have a good one. So as that happens, you keep walking, and you notice that some people, like there's like a sandwich shop. They're like, "Hey, Albert, you want a sandwich today?"
Nah, no, I just got done eating, but I'll take you up on your offer next time when I'm around these parts, eh?
All right, thanks, man. As you walk by, you sit there, and you notice that, again, the power in this kind of tunnel with the lamps and kind of the lights that are there kind of fluctuate. They kind of coming back on again as you kind of walk to down this road. And as you kind of take a corner, you notice kind of sitting there at the end of what looks to be this little like kind of cul-de-sac street is your office. As you kind of walk towards it, you notice that it is a 2-story building. It is absolutely beautiful. It's so run down. It's decrepit. It is absolutely the peak of BPS funding. You walk up, you notice that the door is made of a rotten wood. You notice that you guys have actually kind of taped on like the handle to the door. Like it is just that like screwed up. And above it there's like a metal sign that's all rusted over. And it says Bureau of Public Safety, Precinct Number 26, Industrial District. And as you kind of walk in, you walk up to the door. And as you go to open the door, I would like you to make a strength check for me, please.
All right, old Albert here ain't the strongest, but he may have a little bit of muscle in him yet. There's gonna be a 14.
So you sit there, and the door kind of gives you problems. Like, you know this is just how it's been, and then you just kind of push open the door, and it kind of swings open.
Oh dear. Hey, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna take out my cigarette and look at the door, and I'm gonna put my cigarette back in the corner of my mouth there, and I'm gonna just gently close the door. Does it stay?
As you do that, it just kind of pops back open.
I'm gonna try it again.
It doesn't. It pops back open.
I'm going to look around there. Is there a brick like on the ground?
Make a perception check.
Yeah. There is a. Oh, that's actually really good. That's not that 20.
Yeah, there's like a brick that's just like kind of outside the office building.
Ah, there's Shelby. Okay, and I'm gonna pick up Shelby the brick here, and I'm gonna just put Shelby against the door just so it stays.
He named the brick.
So as it happens, you kind of put it against the door, and the door stays shut this time. And you're kind of looking at it, and the door, it ain't the. You need a new door, is what you've determined. But hey, I mean, it's what you got. What you kind of turn on and you notice is that there's this kind of little like what looks to be a kind of little stairwell area. There's nothing really here. There's just a door that leads to what your guys' like storage and file room is, and then there's a staircase that goes up and kind of turns a corner into what looks to be a hallway. By the way, what it looks like in here is the floors are really rotten over. The wood in here is starting to decay. There's actually, the stairs are made of metal, but there are some steps missing on the stairs. You guys don't have a handrail anymore. Actually, recently, if you recall, you guys had to take out the handrail because it fell over and almost hit Evie on the head. So, so you guys don't have a handrail anymore. This is the perfect job. As you kind of
Safety first.
as you kind of sit there, Albert, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go up the stairs. I'm gonna maybe find one where I have to kind of extend my leg up a bit and just kind of get over it. I'm gonna keep going up to the office with Evie's lunch.
So you turn around the corner. There's a little hallway, and there is a little lobby area. And in this lobby area, you see a desk, and surrounding it is kind of this figure that's surrounded in a light cloud of cigarette smoke. And sitting there is your secretary, Evie. She is a pure white tabaxi. She stands about 5 feet tall, and she has like these really dark emerald green eyes, and she's very well kept fur. She looks very, very well kept. She's wearing like a large crimson tam o' shanter hat. If you don't know what that is, they're really cool. They're like a beret, and it's got like this very loose kind of like bow on it. What she's matching to go with that is she's wearing this kind of big, puffy, loose pink shirt, and with a dark, like high-waisted, like crimson skirt to go with it. And as she's kind of sitting there, you notice that she's looking at what looks to be like a magazine, and she has this big, kind of long, elongated cigarette kind of in her mouth, and she's just sitting there with these like reading glasses on. You hear just kind of the hoops.
I'm gonna go up to her with the I assume this is like a paper sack or something, because it's like takeout or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to her. I'm gonna look at Evie, and I'm gonna be like, so anything happening in the tabloids there? Anything interesting that ain't depressing or miserable?
Well, you know what they say. Depressing and miserable is kind of what we're all about here, New Errol.
Yep, it is safety first after all.
She goes, "Oh, did you see that we have a new team playing for golf here?"
Oh, really now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who's the lead golfer there?
Don't care, he ain't cute enough.
That makes a lot of sense. In truth, I don't know nothing about golf. Do they do some? Do they play in teams?
I don't know.
No, that makes sense. I got before my mind goes a wandering into the far lands. I got your lunch here. I didn't know what you wanted, so I got you the pink one.
Oh, hey, oh yeah, thanks there, Albert. She kind of sits there and she opens it up. She goes, aren't you just a sweetheart, Albert Albertson? She sits there and she kind of sits there and she goes into full pull out some of the chopsticks. She goes, oh yeah, you guys got a call earlier, yeah. There's a job that you guys were offered, but here's the thing, it's not really my job to be able to take the case, so the client's gonna call you guys a little later once you guys are all back in the office.
That makes sense. Yeah, I feel bad. I should have been here a little sooner, but I got distracted with the fine weather and the pleasant folks outside.
Oh yeah. She goes, go inside.
All right. Well, you enjoyed the golf articles there, Miss Evie. I'm gonna go inside and wait for that there call.
So the door leading into your office, it's wonderful. It has one hinge on it left right now.
Ooh.
It is beautiful. You guys actually have put a metal plate kind of where a part of where the door was broken off. You guys really do a lot around this office. Very underappreciated. As you guys sit there, you also notice that there's no doorknob to this door anymore. What you guys did is you guys have like a little latch. You guys kind of pull and open in order for the door to open up.
Nice.
And as it happens, you open the door and it closes, and we cut back outside. And Bartholomew,
Right.
as it happens, you kind of walk up to the BPS office door that you've come up to so many times. You feel kind of the drizzling pipe rain on you as you're kind of walking inside, and you kind of hear the splashing of your shoes as you kind of walk up to the door. What would you like to do?
Right, so I would have detoured from my usual route. I don't have time to do what I normally do. I've got a call, so I'm going to rush up to the door, just run up the steps, and I'm going to...
I would like for you to make a strength check on the door real quick.
That'll be... I didn't roll very well, but my strength ain't bad. That's going to be a 10.
So you sit there and you feel it stops. You're like,
Dang Shelby.
Take 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna reach up and I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to kick the door.
all right, roll again. Roll strength check. On advantage. This sounds funny.
Right, that's a 20.
You sit there and you just like kick open the door, and you notice that kind of it flies open. It kind of sits there, and you see Shelby still unintact. She kind of moves back as you kind of sit there, and you notice the door is swung open, and there's kind of a little bit of a dent where you kicked it.
So I'm just gonna look at it and just be like, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door, and I'm going to close the door much more gently than I opened it.
As you do that, she kind of opens back up again.
I go and I close it again a little more aggressively.
It opens back up again.
I take the door and I slam it shut.
Okay, let me roll a strength check.
Yeah, it's a 25.
This time it stays shut.
Right, so we need to get the damn door fixed.
As it happens, you hear Eve from the top go, "I make note of it."
I'm gonna take a moment, I'm gonna breathe, I'm gonna leap up the steps, because I don't got time for them, and I'm already irritated now.
As you turn around the corner, you hear Evie go, "Oh, hiya, Bartholomew. How is it going? You doing good? You doing good?"
I'm gonna take a moment, and then I'm gonna look up at her and say, "Doing just fine, darling. What, Tony said that we got Nicole.
Oh yeah. Tony's such a nice guy. I really like that Tony guy. So nice. But no, I got a call from a client, and she wants you to come and help her out. But you see, the thing is, I can't take the job, right?
Right.
So I called you guys all to get here. She said she'd call back a little later.
Evie, did she say anything in particular about the job itself?
No. She said it's urgent. She needs to talk to you guys directly.
Yeah, they're always urgent. All right. Well, thanks. And I'm gonna just kind of slap her desk, and I will make my way to my office.
As you kind of sit there and you open the same door, we cut to, at that time, Shane. You're kind of sitting there and you kind of are walking up in the rain.
Yeah.
You kind of, except it's more of a clop, like, with splashes, as you kind of come up to the door and you notice the door
Hate it when
shut.
my leg fur gets wet.
Yeah, it is. You're very wet. As you
Battle
kind
of
of
the
come
door.
up, you're kind of sitting there. You look around. You see the beautiful door, the beautiful sign. Your wonderful office slowly in decay. But a lot of these buildings are made of brick or metal or wood. Yours is made of a brick.
Might as well be paper mache. And he just opens the door.
And you make a strength check on the door.
Yeah,
Slammed it
sure can. That's gonna be a 6.
You sit there and it's kind of.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna ram it with my horn.
Okay, make another strength check on advantage.
this is why the door is so...
That's an 11.
you just kind of sit there and you ram it, and it just seems stuck, and you don't know why. It's just like
Okay. He'd snap his fingers, and the owl would come down
the
to
owl's
him.
kind of flies next to you.
And he'd say, "Go open the door," and the owl would cast Mage Hand on the door.
So as it happens, you see the door kind of sits there, and it kind of. I need you to make it a strength check for me, please.
You bet your bottom
It
dollar.
can open it since it's less than 10 pounds, but it's just this door's fickle.
That's 9.
Mage hand ain't working.
All right.
As you're sitting out there, you see Zarga's kind of approaching behind you.
All right, Keyfine, come back here. The owl would
Sits
fly
there.
back on your shoulder.
Sits back on there. By the way.
I was
so
gonna
what happens
say.
is that what happens is that you see you're trying to fiddle the door, and Zarga, the drizzle's become heavier now. People are using more and more water at this time of the day. And as you start kind of walking through, again, this also goes from you guys on the inside. You just see all kind of the power just kind of fluctuates. It kind of goes.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, hey there, boss. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. When you
That's
get
like
the
the dog.
door open,
If I could, I'd be inside.
move out the fuck way.
Well, all right. Shane would pop out of the way.
So he's going to. Zarga's actually going to put on his brass knuckles from his pocket. He's going to shake his fist off. He's going to rear back, and he's just going to punch it straight.
Punch
in
with
the center.
advantage. Oh, this is a strength.
the door.
Strength.
Yeah, it's a 20. No, 19. Sorry.
No, if you have athletics,
I
kind
don't
of
have
athletics.
No, that's a 19 is the best.
You punch it, and the door falls off the hinges. It just kind of.
My favorite thing about this job is we all have the same philosophy. Act first, ask questions later.
See, I don't really want to go down those steps until the lights turn back on.
So the lights are still off, and all you hear is kind of the water, and you kind of see some people are walking around, and see people kind of adapted to this. You notice that the people in the street start pulling out what looks to be like these rudimentary like flashlights. They kind of sit there, and they have like kind of like a gas lamp on the bottom of them, and they kind of sit there and they start walking with those.
So I'm gonna take out my matchbook.
Shane would look at you and say, "Boss, you don't got to worry about that." Open his hand and cast fairy fire down into the hallway, and a nice, clean green glow that matches exactly to the shade, his trademark green, just lights the hall.
You notice that it kind of fills the room. You can see the steps. You can see kind of the area that you guys have been walking into for the last couple of years of your life.
Well, ain't that fancy.
Yeah, I do what I can to help people I like.
Well, you're not too bad yourself, kid. He's gonna take his brass knuckles off and put it in his coat pocket and walk down the stairs.
So you walk up the stairs, and you guys kind of skip over the steps that are gone. And as you guys walk in, you just notice that Evie's got a little candle lit. And what happens is that there's that southern coming out there, boys. You know, but it sits there and
get lit.
yeah. You see little candles lit, and you see she's sitting there, and she's still just reading her magazine. She's eating her noodles too. You guys kind of walk up.
Evie, a well-read woman with a beautiful coat of fur.
Shane, a wonderful, perfect man who likes to come and try and flirt with me every single time he comes to work.
Hey, one day one of these attempts will be successful.
Keep trying there, Tiger.
She sits there and she's.
Hey, you got anything new for me, Snow White?
Well, here's the thing. You see, we had a client who called a second ago. She's starting to scoop up noodles. She's like, and the thing is, sorry there, boss. So the
Love
thing
me a
here-
woman who knows how to eat.
Yeah. Don't give me compliments. It fills my head up. So here's the deal. So you got a client who called a second ago, okay? And you know what she said? She said this. She said that she didn't want to call you back until everybody was back. So once you get in that office, I'll give her a ring, and then she'll give us a ring. How's that sound, boss?
All right, that sounds great.
Good. She goes, don't worry. The other two are already in there. Bartholomew seems to be in a little bit of a mood, and Albert brought me these wonderful noodles.
I'll miss you for every single second that door's closed,
And
Evie.
I won't miss you for any.
Hey, Evie, do me a favor and get a new door.
Oh, I already made a note of that.
Good to know.
So as you guys sit there and you open the door, I would like for you guys to describe what each of your personal desks look like. Because as the door kind of swings open, we see kind of Albert and Bartholomew sitting at their desks already. If you'd like to talk about your workspace, I will then talk about the full workspace. So, if you'd like to describe your...
I just, as far as light is concerned, in the room, I would have, in the center, we've got like the, kind of trash bin, like trash tin, that I would have gotten a fire going to have some light and some heat, because heating's been out. There's kind of a hole in the ceiling, so I would have gotten that going so that it's lit and it's a little warm.
Okay, so as you walk in, the lights kind of dramatically, almost as if this is like the appearance of a very important thing. You kind of walk inside and kind of lights kind of... You guys kind of see the few little lamps and overhead lights you guys have in your office kind of just spring to life, and we can see the full office in view. So you know what we'll do? We'll start with Albert. Describe your desk, and we'll just go around. So it'll be Bartholomew, then Shane, then it will be Zarga.
All right. My desk is on the right side of the office. It's near the door. In case we got medical clients, we can just haul them in, and there ain't much walking that need to be done, and all that good stuff. It's a small desk. It's got 4 drawers in it. It looks like maybe it was a repurposed like school desk or something, made of metal or something. It's got some stains on it. I'm not sure if they're rust, if they're coffee, or whoever owned it. But it works for me. I got one desk drawer that's full of medical kits, first aid supplies, gauze. I got bandages. Perhaps a strong whiskey. I don't tell many people about that one. I don't drink myself, but the people, they shouldn't want to be drinking if when you take something off, just take it off. Yeah. So the second drawer on top of that's got files mostly about common illnesses. I am only a fur bloke. I do tend to forget sometimes. You don't want to be having me forgetting things, so I like to brush up on the common illnesses in the world. So another drawer is just filled with books and more medical stuff, medical textbooks. Maybe tell a good visual aid for them folks ailing, just in case they don't want to know more about what's hurting them in the inside. And then I got on top of my desk, very simple stuff. Just got a picture of a cat, and the cat changes. This is the cat that right now is a picture of the cat that we rescued there with the tuna in the story, because it was the last cat that we rescued, and so every new one, that's the one that's in the picture there. I got a lamp and a jug of pure water. It's like one of them like moonshine jugs too. So it probably was a
mason jar,
Yeah, it was probably a moonshine jar at one point. And so then I got a chair that's made of soapbox, and it's like up on its side. It's got a pillow on it. And I heard that an uncushioned seat's bad for your back.
Oh, real ergonomic. Yeah, you betcha.
Absolutely. The one at the IKEA costs too much.
As it happens, we go to Bartholomew.
Right, so in the back left corner of the office, there's not really a desk, and there's not really a chair. It's the first thing you would probably notice is there's a very tall, almost up to the ceiling, bookshelf that's just filled with books and different scrolls and just a lot of visual information. Next to it, in the other corner, is a round low table with a hooded lantern on it. There's also on the corner of it is a chess set that it's had the same. Anyone who's perceptive enough to notice it's had the same game there for a while, and Bartholomew seems to observe it a lot, but doesn't ever move any of the pieces. And then he's got his coffee cup set up, a large mug he's got on the low table, and then strewn about on the ground is just a bunch of very thick looking like wool and kind of dirty blankets and fabric. He's got kind of spread out like a little bed, and that's where he's currently now laying. He's got hand in one coffee cup. He's got kind of leaning on the low table, a book open, kind of sprawled out very comfortably on the floor, and on in the blankets. And the only thing you notice is there's a political poster that is posted up above the table from the most previous election that happened. And yeah, he's just sitting there engrossed in a book and would look up upon your entrance into the space.
As that happens, Shane, what is your desk look like?
As Shane walks over towards his desk, he'd tap Keyfine once, and she'd fly on over to a convenient, nice little bird cage that he keeps next to his desk at all times. It's beautiful gold. He ran to an antique store for it. He really likes it. And then there's his desk. It's desk, right? Well, the desk itself is scratched up all over on the top because Shane cannot sit in the chair properly. He needs to have his legs up on the table. It makes him feel cool. Then behind him is a large corkboard, very stereotypical, with the red wire and the pins. But you'll see it's not him tracking like a large scheme or a gang of any sort. It's him connecting informants back to the BPS. He is really a finder more than a prosecutor. And on his desk is one thing that never leaves, and that is an ornate, beautiful knife. It rests very cleanly and calmly at the foot of his desk in lieu of anything like a name tag. And he takes 5 minutes a day just to pull it out and look at it. And then he stabs it into the corkboard for dramatic effect, puts it back in the sheath, lays it on the table. He'd walk over to his desk, plop his butt down in the large wingback chair with the wheels on it, because it's fun, throws his legs up on the table and gets ready to start the day.
Zarga, what does your desk look like?
So Zarga's gonna walk over to his desk. It's a big, fancy oak desk. It's befitting of the station chief. It's one of his prized possessions. So he walks over to it. It's got a couple of drawers on the other side where he keeps some mismatched files on one side, and on the other side he keeps a stock of Caliban whiskey, 5 or 6 bottles. Despite Zarga's appearance, this desk is immaculately cared for. Like, it is polished, it is clean, it is very fancy. Same with his chair. It's a big, large back recliner with some armrests that are very padded. You can pull a little lever and out comes a spot for his feet to sit. And on top of his desk, it's relatively clean, pretty sparse. He's got a picture, a very attractive half-elf, sitting there, signed and with a little lipstick in the corner. And then he's got a stand. And when he sits down at his desk, he takes out a very ornate Marigold Kingsguard pistol. And he'll set it on the stand, make sure it's all nice and pretty lined up there, with 6 rounds set in front of it. He's also got a large pad of darts that he keeps on his desk, and a couple of files that he's currently working on, and a glass to put his whiskey into.
So as we're in this kind of office of yours, what you guys notice is that it is trashed. All over the floor are kind of papers you guys kind of maybe occasionally toss at each other. You guys notice that on the wall there's a specific picture of a half-orc who you guys tend to play darts with a lot. And then this picture, this half-orc has this very slick black hair, big sideburns, sitting there. He's kind of got a cocked smile and giving you a wink. And it says, "From Renee." And every single time you guys do it, you throw it at him. You just really hate this picture. On top of this, the floor, it's just a disaster. It's the wooden paneling is completely rotted out. There's actually metal sheets now, kind of where some are. If you were to actually remove one of those metal sheets, you could actually go into your downstairs file and storage room because it's just a big hole. Literally, the room is about, I'm going to say 10 feet in. It's a 10 by 10 room. It's very, 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 very small. It's cluttered in there. And you have a little trash can that's currently on fire with a little hole in the roof. Now, of course, water doesn't come in through that way because there's another building that kind of stacks up above it, which has enough space for the smoke to leave out of. So, overall, this is paradise.
Right.
This is work. This has been your lives for the last couple of years. For some, almost a decade. For others, 2 or 3 years. This has been where you guys come in every single day, 9 to 5, and work this job for the Bureau of Public Safety. At that moment, you guys are just sitting there and waiting. What is it you would like to do?
Shane would reach into the desk, and y'all hear this this cabinet open that you have heard open every single day for your entire time knowing Shane. He pulls out a small lyre, taps it once. It turns into an upright bass. He just stands up and starts playing. Just a nice little jazz ditty in the background as we work.
I'm going through some files real quick. I'm gonna glance up from my desk, and I'm gonna look at the lot of you. And so how was the walk over?
Dame door.
Did it finally give?
Well, let's just say it's at the, we're gonna need a new door.
Yeah, I heard Evie made a note of it. She's a good girl. She's a good gal. Hey, has anyone seen the cup I have that I keep on my desk at all?
I ain't seen your cup.
I like to
Just
roll
got it.
perception for the cup.
Roll perception for the cup.
It's a little glass cup. I'm trying to feed Gladys some food.
Well, now that Midwest accent's gonna get me one of them days. Shane's just gonna become Midwest.
What'd you roll?
That is a 21.
21. You look around and you notice that the glass cup is like kind of like for some reason like on your bookshelf. Probably someone picked it up and just put it there.
It's hanging over there, bud.
Oh, there we go. Gladys she gets hungry and thirsty this time around. Gladys, you would know, is my formica that I keep in a puce vase right beside my desk.
Albert, if you're ever interested, Key finds droppings a real good fertilizer.
Oh no, she's more organic. She like the stuff from the bag.
Oh, so Key finds not good enough for you, huh?
No, it doesn't settle well with the roots, you know.
You're fine, buddy. You go get your cup.
I did forget two important details on Zarga's desk. So Zarga had on his desk, I forgot 2 important details. I just need to clarify. He has a large gold nameplate on there that says Zarga Felbest, Station Chief. And then behind him on the wall hanging, he has a picture of him shaking hands with the head of the BPD, and there's a label underneath that says, and I quote, BPD Investigator of the Year, 1150.
Well, as you walk over to, do you go over to grab the glass?
I'm going over there to get my cup. Do you mind there, Bart? You in the
My
middle of something?
name's Bartholomew.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I get tongue-tied real easy.
Well, maybe you best untie itself, and I will close the book. I will lean up, reach up, grab the glass, look at you for a moment, and then hand it to you. And then
Thank you there, Bart. I appreciate it.
1, 2.
He's doing the singing thing again, everyone. Just let him cool off.
I'm gonna stand up, and I'm gonna make my way over to the chief's desk. I'm gonna just walk over and just kind of slam my hand down on the desk, not like slam, but like
watch it. I just polished this thing yesterday.
Right. So what's with the new case? What are the details?
Hell if I know. We're waiting on the phone call, same as always.
Did somebody give Renee how do you do today?
Here we go. So Zarga's going to pick one of the darts up off of the pad, and he's going to rear back his arm and just fling it as hard as he can.
I want you to roll a like a ranged attack.
It's not great, but that's going to be a 14.
14. It hits like if it's like a smug face, it hits kind of where his neck would be. It's like.
Hey, that's a kill shot from. That's a kill shot.
Should work on your aim.
As that happens, you hear the phone. Ding 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 ding.
Who's getting it?
I'm gonna rush over to get it.
So it's like one of those old really gramophones. You kind of have to pull up the kind of the cup up to your ear to listen to it, and kind of the speaker up to your mouth. As you kind of you answer it.
Right, this is Baru Public Safety, District 26.
Yeah, right.
This is Specialist Bartholomew Kolb speaking. What can I do for you?
Hello. This is the BPS, correct? This is the BPS, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Is everything all right?
I have a case of an absolute emergency. I need help right away. This is a
Ma'am,
point of complete
Please, calm down. Speak clearly. Where are you? What is the problem?
My husband is missing. I need you to find my husband.
What? Missing?
He's gone. I need you to find my husband, please.
Yes, mum. Listen here. I need your name, please.
And I'm gonna gesture over to them like, give me something to write with.
My name is Mrs. Millie Osley,
Mrs. Miri Osley.
and I live in Old Town, and I need my husband. He's
In
gone.
Old Town?
In Old Town District, I need my husband.
Right, ma'am. Please stay calm. Stay with me. Now, your husband is missing. What is his name?
His name is Mr. Duke Osley.
Mr. Duke Osley.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I don't know where he's gone.
Right, mum. Please remain calm. We're on our way.
And I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna turn
So,
to
what's it all about?
Missing person.
Hey, that's better than a cat in a tree.
I'm saying we haven't had a lead like this in months.
Missing person, eh?
That's something
That's
interesting.
something for me.
Right.
All right.
I don't know if there's anything funny, but I think, hey,
So we're going to Oldstown,
let's make our way there before. Well,
huh? Right.
you know who? I'm gonna look over at Renee's photo. I'm gonna run over. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna ball it up. I'm gonna toss it in the fire.
Hey, I was using that.
Shane would just go over to his stack of informants and pull out every file pertaining to Old Town and throw it in his backpack.
Zarga's gonna take his gun, put it back in his shoulder holster, and throw his jacket back on.
I'm gonna finish feeding Gladys real quick.
I'm gonna on the way out. I will. Bartholomew will also run over and leaning up against the bookshelf is an older, kind of a little bit splintered, kind of cracked wooden baseball bat that he's gonna grab and put underneath his coat.
What I picture is almost like Edgar Wright. What happens is that like we have a quick cut. You like grabbing the bat, you putting in your gun, you're you're putting stuff in, and we just cut like a glass going into the plant.
Dun 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 dun.
You gotta feed her nice and slow. If you feed her too quick, she gets rather upset.
You don't want to drown it.
Roots
She's
they're not good.
Like, hey, this place smells bad enough. We need something to keep the air clean.
So as it happens, you guys open the door, and Evie goes, "Good luck, boys. Have a good time.
Hey, thanks,
See you
sugar.
around."
Keyfine just flies overhead.
And I'm like kind of jogging, like I'm Bartholomew's running, trying to very eager.
I'm just walking behind and just
Have a good one there, Albert.
Zarga's lungs are too screwed up over the years, so he's not running.
Have a good one there, Chief.
Thanks, Sugarfur.
I'll say Evie, I'd have a good one. If them golfers, you find out what them golfers are, let me know.
I will.
So DM, how far is? She said Old Town is over.
Yeah, so I have. So for those who are listening, we will have actually a digital copy of this that will appear. But we actually have a physical map in front of us that the players will refer to. They're currently in the industrial district, and the lines are all colored, and they need to go to Old Town District.
Well, you beautiful, lovely folks, I got some good news for you. This city is my preferred terrain, so we are moving at double speed throughout
yeah.
town.
I like
Okay.
hearing that.
So we got to go. If I'm looking at this, is it north, south, east?
Yeah.
So we're heading west. Okay, yeah, we're heading west towards. No, sorry, east towards the district.
Let me see their.
We're pulling up the
Looks,
game map there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like we got to get to Station 5 there.
Right, so
On
let's
the
be
red
quick
rail.
about it before you know who gets there first.
Don't worry, I'll lead. Y'all follow like always. Come on.
We're gonna take the SkyTram.
Yeah, the red rail, station number 5.
All right, we gotta
I
get
mean,
there.
I can take you through the back roads if you'd rather.
I think we can get there quicker on foot, lads. Come on.
Come on, I got it.
So as you guys are just
All
running
right,
there,
whatever.
what do you guys decide to do? Take the skyline, or are you guys gonna?
I'm running.
I'll defer
Shane's-
to our specialist of the city.
Shane's leading, and he is taking the back roads through the back alleys that he knows like the back of his hand.
So
That was a lot of use of the word back.
that is okay. So as you guys are kind of walking through, you guys notice that this is a very multi-tiered city. Like at some points, you guys will turn around a corner and there's like a stone staircase that goes down at one point that leads to another road that leads to kind of a road where conventional carts and wagons can go. You notice that there are other places that have big stairwells or bridges that connect to another place. It's very cluttered. It's also very like kind of neon lit and very dim colors. Very much not one specific color. As you guys are kind of running through the back alleys, you guys are kind of, you see like your shadows kind of go across walls as you guys are kind of going across. I need you guys to all roll a constitution check. So you're walking a rather long way. And you guys are coming up and down stairs and going all over the place.
Yeah.
Since this is my favorite terrain, difficult terrain does not affect our travel.
Oh, that's true, that's true. I'm just thinking 'cause you're running. But yeah,
Okay.
you guys fine.
No,
So like we're moving at a quick pace and we're
Yeah.
not being slowed. This
Yeah.
is to keep the pace.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Just keep
All right,
going.
sounds like a plan. All right, I'll take it.
All right,
Where would
we'll
you
go
like to
around. We'll
start?
go Zargo down.
It's going to be a 19.
19.
14.
That's gonna be a 20 for me.
That's a 9.
Everybody is like,
Okay.
everybody's just like running and having a good, like getting into it. And Albert's just kind of walking behind. You know,
I'm taking my time.
he's like
here.
James May. He doesn't run on camera.
I don't run on camera.
So what happens is that as you guys are kind of
Come on, we're never going to beat Jeremy if we don't.
so as you
Don't
guys
run
are
on
kind
camera.
of going through these streets, I want you to roll one more Constitution check just to see if you're keeping pace. Again, you're not getting tired. You're just trying to keep pace. And we'll go actually around Albert and around.
I'm 6.
Albert just is no rush.
That's a 17.
17.
I don't know what happened to Shane, but that's a 4.
So Zaga got a little cocky for a little bit and started trying to keep pace with Bart. He was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, let's make it there. And a little bit of his old youth came back to him. And then about a quarter mile in, he rolled a 6 and started passing out a little bit, like spots in his eyes. And
So
Like,
I'm
oh,
gonna
shit.
I'm gonna peel off and then turn and I'm gonna be like, yes, we're gonna make it. And I'm gonna stop and turn and see my team behind me and be like,
Get
damn
ready
it,
to
lads!
fucking-
And I'm gonna make my way back to make my way back towards them, like trying to hurry them on.
My
like,
dear friend, I've told you this 1,000 times. Patience is a virtue.
Right, not when it comes to this case.
So, as you guys are running, I'm going to say you guys kind of enter what is the border of Old Town. Now, I'm going to have you guys roll one more Constitution check. To avoid these in future preference, you could take the Skyline. But, this is just a big city. You just have to keep pace. No negative effects, you just have to keep pace. We're going to go around, Zarga, and around.
So that's a 13 for Zaga. He
13?
had his rest.
Got my spontaneity back. That's a 17.
17.
Right, so that's a natural 20 for me.
Natural 20.
There is an 18 this time.
18. Okay, so you guys are doing pretty good. You guys, as soon as you get back, Bartholomew, you kind of sitting there. You're kind of like jogging in place, kind of like let's keep going. And everyone's like, okay, and they kind of keep going. Again, kind of your shadows are kind of going against the walls. You kind of notice businesses are kind of sitting there. You notice people pop out once in a while, and they're drunk, and they're having like what appears to be a good time. You notice that everything is pretty much as it is, and as you guys kind of cross into the border of Old Town, the power just kind of again.
Damn upper crust.
Right, can everyone see all right?
Zaga's got dark vision, but he's just to be safe, he's gonna take out a match. He's gonna light it, so he's got a little bit of a flame.
And you notice that people are just popping out like kind of from their own little lanterns and walking around.
He's gonna take a cigarette out of his case.
I'm going to use my dark vision to kind of keep a view
So-
up ahead.
As you're looking around, you guys know she lives in Old Town, but you don't know where she lives in Old Town. So she didn't specify.
With that
she
in
know?
mind,
No, she just said I live in Old Town District.
Oh, that's right.
with that in mind,
Does anybody know where this lady lives?
don't worry, fellas, I got it covered. He's going to tap on Keyfine and cast Beast Sense, putting his vision into Keyfine, and he's going to take off and look for any apartment complex or house with, like on old timey apartment buildings, how they'd have the
Like a
call
name?
up system,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
PA. look for the last name.
While he's
Alright.
doing that, I'm just gonna find some person next, just passing us, and I'm just gonna walk up to them.
All right, so I want you to roll an investigation check, and we'll do you pick.
I'm gonna aid whatever he's doing.
Great.
I'm gonna be just a second person. Like we need this, whatever you're doing.
Great. So you two kind of approach a random person, and we'll do them first, and we'll do Albert and Bartholomew stuff first.
For sure.
And then we'll do Shane stuff. So as you guys walk up to, you see just there's some guy sitting there. He's smoking a cigarette. You just see the light of the cigarette kind of come over his face. He's sitting there.
What kind of brand is it?
You can't tell. It's just kind of rolled up. I think he made it himself.
No, okay, then I'm gonna walk up to him. Excuse me there, pal. Do you know where the residence of and then what's her name?
What was the name again, DM?
Mary Osley.
Okay. And I'll just go ahead and say Osley.
Yeah, the kindly woman lives
Mary
around these
Osley.
parts.
Apologies. So she sits there and he goes, you're looking for Marie Osley? Is that right? Yeah.
That's about right. Yep, that'd be her.
She lives down the street. Keep going for a while. Turn left. She lives somewhere around there.
All right. That's helpful. Thank you there, pal.
I'm just saying free.
Right.
Yeah, Zaga's actually gonna walk up to the guy. This is a BPS business.
So when you pull out your badge, the symbol that appears is actually it's a circular badge, and what it is, it's a wyvern that's sitting there, and its wings are making itself into a shield, and it says BPS on it. The head is looking to what would be the west constantly. It's in a noble kind of pose, so it isn't aggressive at all. And the tail actually circles around to make the edging of kind of the silver badge that you guys have.
This is BPS business, so it is free. Thank you for your public service.
No. I don't care if you're fucking part of the feds or anything. You know, you gotta give me something for this information.
Well, hey, pal.
Zaga's actually gonna kind of like use his height and stature, kind of trying to intimidate him. I don't think we're paying you, pal. I think you're gonna walk away, and I'm not gonna bring you up on charges. How's that sound?
Roll an intimidation check.
Can I? I'm gonna.
You
Adrian,
hit
I'm
him?
gonna.
Yeah, give him
I'm,
advantage.
I'm pulling out my bat. I'm gonna stop pulling it out and just.
Oh yeah, I got a plus 9. This is 21.
He sits there and he goes, "Okay, fine. God."
That's what I thought.
Thank you for your service there, pal.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
sits there. He
piss off.
He
And
flicks his cigarette towards you guys. Kind
It's
know.
your loss, buddy. Yeah.
So as you guys can sit there, well, what's your investigation?
That's a 16.
So you're sitting there and you kind of go down the same way. I'm going to say you kind of heard kind of what they're talking about, so you kind of knew a direction to go.
Yep.
So as Keyfine kind of flies around the corner and you see that there's really no apartment complexes. It's kind of a mismatch thing. Some businesses are kind of up in high areas. You gotta have to go through apartments sometimes to get there. This is a really disorganized city, at least specifically in Old Town, in the industrial district, and so on. As you kind of fly around, and you notice that there is a sign that says who lives where. And with the 16, I'm going to say that you would guess that she might live in there. The words are a little too small for
Okay,
the owl
for sure.
just to kind of sweep by and look at.
So on that, the color in Shane's brown eyes would come back. I think I got a probable property.
Right. Lead the way said that way.
He'd just start. I love playing a character with hooves. Just head down the road.
So you guys all going down the road?
Yeah.
Yep, we're going down the way.
So as you guys go down the road, you guys kind of come around, and you guys notice that there's kind of a bit of a canal in this area. You guys came to a lower part of the city. You notice that a lot of this here pipe water is going in there, is going into this big canal. It almost looks like a river. And this river is not pretty looking. It is green. It is full of trash. And you don't want to fall in it. You'd probably not be able to be clean for a couple days. The smell is absolutely atrocious. As you guys kind of come around, you guys come around to see this kind of door that leads into a kind of what looks like an apartment complex.
I wouldn't be lighting a cigarette around these parts. You
Hey.
don't want to set the whole district ablaze.
Hey,
Hey,
but it's
chick-
better smell.
That there's
What, so-
toxic. It may be flammable.
Do we need a search warrant or anything? Or are we
With
just
the
gonna
BPS, we don't need no search.
right. So
Yeah.
who's leading here?
Yeah, I'll take the lead.
Right.
As you guys kind of walk inside the door, you notice that some of the doors and kind of the rooms are actually completely open. Like it looks like a hole has been blown in the wall. This is remnants from a conflict that happened very recently.
Yeah.
As you kind of live in here, as you guys walk in here, apologies, you guys walk inside. It's very decrepit. It's very old. You notice that some people live in these rooms that have just a blasted open wall, and they just kind of live their life in here. And you notice that these kind of maybe have a mat on the floor, and they're just living there. You guys kind of notice that, I'm going to say with his 16, you guys notice she lives on the 3rd floor. As you guys kind of walk up these steps, you guys walk over and you see a door that says Osley on it.
I guess it's the
Alright.
place. So he's gonna knock on the door.
Who is it? Who is it?
BPS, ma'am. Station Chief Zarga Felbest. We're here about your husband.
Oh, thank goodness, thank goodness. You kind of hear for a second, there's nothing. Then you hear like a... You see the door opens up, there's like a chain. Oh! And she kind of opens the door, and she goes, oh, thank goodness you're here. Oh, thank goodness.
Right.
She comes up to you, Zarga, since you're the first at the door, and she's just kind of like, she's a little goblin. Little goblin lady. She's got like this kind of big, kind of old white hair. It's all in a little bun. And she comes up and she just starts hugging your leg because she's that small. She's like, oh,
Yes, ma'am. Listen, I'm real sorry that your husband's missing, but could you maybe tell us a little bit about when he went missing? You know,
he's been gone for the last few days.
the last few days, like when? Give me a time frame.
About 5 days ago, I think.
Somebody write this
I'm
down.
on it. I'm on it, Chief.
Mum, do you mind if I have a look inside?
Of course, of course.
Right.
These are my colleagues. We got right here. We got Shane, West District.
She says, she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a horrible guest. Would you like any tea or anything like that?
If you wouldn't mind there, ma'am, I'd like a cup of that there stuff, yeah?
She sits there, she goes, I'll take care of that for you.
Thank you there,
ahead.
ma'am.
Oh, Shane would just look over at Chief and be like, "I'll take care of the people," and he'd walk into the kitchen to help the sweet old lady make some tea for Albert.
Zarga's gonna actually follow Mr. Bart and start looking around for potential disturbances.
So I'm looking for anything supernatural, fiendish, magical in nature. Any type of that's kind of
your
my
job.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure there wasn't any of that involved before we do an investigative sweep.
Right, so you're looking around, and I'm going to say, do you have to roll, I believe you roll
If there
investigation, correct?
Yes, if there is any, so out of the game, if there is any anything that is fey, fiendish, or
That- yeah, you're looking for
celestial
specific.
in nature that I'm looking for, I get advantage on it. But
Great.
if I don't know it's there, then I
Great.
just roll to investigate.
So roll investigate.
Okay.
There's you look around.
Okay.
There's nothing there for that. I'm gonna say you can just kind of tell right off the bat. This is a normal apartment.
Right. Okay.
I'm just gonna look around, just
Yeah.
browse. Is this a nice place? Is it
It's well made. It's well kept. The furniture's very nice. You notice that there's no windows or anything. You notice, I will say, it's a little disheveled. You notice that some places aren't where they're supposed to be. Like she has like pictures that aren't picture frames. You notice that some things like that. But I would like you to roll an investigation check to further explore.
Okay.
that.
I'm gonna look for a hat rack for stuff.
Oh, good move.
Is that a hat rack?
Roll investigation check. And you need to roll investigation too.
Right. So I determined there's no.
There's no magical.
Right.
There's no fiend stuff in here. There's no fey stuff in here.
So
there's
I'll-
no demonic stuff in here.
I'll look over to Zarga and say, right, Chief. There's no funny business here. It's
That's
just gonna be standard.
You know
Looks
why I
like-
hate dealing with that stuff. So good to hear. He's good. So is that a hat rack? That's 17.
You look around, and there is a hat rack.
He's gonna take his hat off. He's gonna set it there. He's gonna actually go.
You notice
and-
there's no hats on the rack.
Good to know. He's gonna look for some pictures, specifically pictures of a husband.
Okay, roll investigation check.
I'm gonna look for any signs
No.
of like a struggle or was he abducted? Is what I want to know.
Of course. Roll an investigation check for that.
I'm looking at what kind of books she got, what kind of other sorts of means of entertainment she got. She got a voxophone.
All right, roll investigation for that.
I'm gonna be interviewing
All right,
Mrs.
so-
Osley.
So, what happens is that you're in the kitchen with her, and you see she's just crying. She's just crying, making this tea.
And Shane would take the mug out of her hands and just hold her nice and close and whisper in her ear, "Everything's gonna be all right. You got the best team in the BPS on your side, ma'am. Ain't nothing gonna happen to him.
Oh, thank you.
But we need your help in order to do our job.
Yes.
Now, can you tell me specific things about him? What he's been up to the past couple days? What's his occupation?
Well, he works as an accountant.
Okay, ma'am, between you and I, legitimate or otherwise so?
Legitimate.
Okay.
He works at a bank.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Which bank is that?
I don't remember the name of the
That's,
bank.
ma'am, that is out. And he's just constantly like touching her, making sure she's all right. You're all right, ma'am. Now, who does he affiliate himself with? Does he have any friends, people we could talk
He
to?
used to have a club of friends that
Yeah?
he would go and play cards with.
At which bar or gaming house, ma'am?
Here at our house.
Here at your house.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Who were some of the other members of the club?
Well, it
Or the
was-
most notable people?
Well, he actually would just invite everybody in the complex.
Oh, well, isn't that... He just seems like the nicest man. Duke, right?
Yes.
Duke. Well, has Duke been acting strange lately?
He hasn't come back in 5 days.
Before he left.
No.
So where'd he go to?
I don't remember.
Ma'am, his last... He had to have popped it... I know there's no hats on that hat rack. He left on his own accord.
I don't remember.
Well, how's about we take this nice cup of tea that you made? It smells just delicious, ma'am. And let's give it over to our dear friend Albert. He's a cultural fella. He'll enjoy it.
Oh yes, I was gonna do that. Yes, yes.
Now, and he'd just grab her like very gently by the wrist. If you think of anything, you come and find me, all right?
Yes. She just kind of shakes her head, kind of in tears.
He'd give her a wink and start walking towards Albert with her.
What'd you roll an investigation,
It's a
Sergeant?
14.
And you're looking for what again?
I'm
Remind me.
looking at pictures of her husband.
You notice that he's just a looking guy. I'm gonna say they're not hard to find. They're a little weird because they're kind of like what seems to be like they were supposed to be in chronological order and now they're not anymore. Like there's a picture of an older version of him where there's like a bunch of younger pictures of him. Some of the pictures aren't in frames. Like some of them say like happy birthday on the bottom, but like in the picture he's just working at the bank.
Which bank is it?
It's just him sitting there like just like typing on what looks to be like.
But is
like
there any
typewriter.
kind of so I can like know what bank we need to go?
No, it's just literally like a close up of him on a typewriter. And what'd you roll, my dear Bartholomew?
Right, I rolled a 20, not natural, and I'm looking for any signs of disturbance or like, was this an abduction? Was there any forced entry, that kind of thing?
No, but you notice there's like a lot of vases. You notice that there's a lot of things like that. Nothing's been knocked over. No, nothing
Right,
like that.
so he left on his own accord.
Maybe you just notice that nothing's here. That would cause like maybe a disturbance.
Okay, so I can, okay.
And then you were looking for what?
I'm just browsing, just looking at the many different articles and things that she got in this house because
She's got scrapbooks. She has a scrapbook she made within the year that you would notice. What'd you roll, by the way?
I got myself 21.
Yeah. So you notice that there's actually like you could find out a lot about him in a lot of the books she made. She made a scrapbook again, like I said, like within this last year.
Ain't that just the most darling thing? And so I'm just gonna pull out one of the scrapbooks. I'm gonna start flipping through it.
So you start flipping through it, and there's a lot of nice little pictures and stuff. And as you flip through it, you notice that one of the pictures, it's a funeral. And then you notice that there's a picture of her with an urn.
Oh dear.
And then it says Duke on the urn. And as you keep flipping through it, I want you to roll an investigation check on the room.
Yeah, there's a 19.
You look over, and one of the vases says to our beloved Duke. on the over what looks to be one of the shelves.
Well, all right.
I'm going to slowly close the scrapbook, and I'm gonna go over to where the kitchen is, where my friend Shane and
You'd catch us about
yeah.
halfway.
and where this kind woman is. I'm gonna go up to her. I'm going to get down onto her level with her scrapbook. Ma'am, you have a beautiful scrapbook. You have wonderful talent for this. Albert, I have a question though.
Yes.
How was the funeral?
What funeral?
Albert?
No, I'm gonna open it and just be, and I'm gonna point to the pictures.
Oh God.
Oh, that was Duke's funeral. Yes.
Yes,
Dukes.
I'm very sorry, ma'am.
For
I
crying
feel
out
really
loud.
bad about what happened.
He's been missing for 5 days.
I know it must be tragic. I think I may know where we might start looking.
Where?
We'll get back to you on that here in a minute. I gotta speak to my colleagues.
Oh, good. Here's your tea.
Oh, thank you very much.
Mrs. Usley.
I'm gonna take a sip of this. How's it taste?
It's pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Zarga's gonna take his flask out. He's gonna drain it.
I'm gonna take
Albert.
the teacup, and I'm just gonna be like,
I'm a little teapot. And start
Albert.
here.
He's dead.
He's powder. Yeah,
And
So
that's him
the-
up on the mantelpiece.
it would appear so.
It kind of cuts over. You see the urn, and it cuts back to you guys.
Zarga's gonna go grab the urn.
Oh God.
Let her down gently. She's a nice lady.
He's gonna walk over. He's gonna kneel down. Excuse me, Miss Osley.
Yes.
You're gonna be so happy. I think we actually solved this case.
Really?
He's gonna hand her the urn.
You found him! Oh, thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
maybe next time keep it at eye level.
Oh, you're right. How much do I owe you for your services? You are all so kind. She opens her purse and she starts to
It's the
kinda go
BPD, ma'am. We no payment necessary, but between you and I, we could use a new door. So how about 2 silver notes?
Here, 2 silver notes. And a little copper one just for extra.
Stuff those in his pocket.
Ma'am, you are too kind.
The BPS is so kind.
No, thank you for your hospitality, ma'am. The tea was wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh.
You
Sit down a cup
have,
on the table.
you have a wonderful day, ma'am, and keep scrapbooking. Can't
Ah,
wait
you-
to see our page in it.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
If you're missing anything, just give us a ring. We
So
get
that's
paid by the hour.
So as it happens, the door closes behind you guys.
He's gonna grab his hat.
so as we step out into the hallway,
Well, that was a
I'm gonna-
waste of bloody time.
I'm gonna take my teacup that I took with me. I'm gonna smash it against the wall, and I'm just gonna stand just like,
Easy there, bud. Zarga's gonna pat him on the back. So good. Let's get back to the. Let's get back to the station.
If it's all right with you, Chief, we take a walk.
You do that.
I can give you something for that. if
No,
you're
it's all
feeling-
right. I just
I'm gonna start just stick my hands in my jacket pockets and just
Start walking.
yeah.
All right. Well, how,
Zarga's gonna take a cigarette out, light it. Just another day in the BPS.
as it happens, how many are you? How are you guys walking home? Are you guys taking the skyline?
We're taking the skyline.
Shane would just say,
Yeah, I'm
I got
taking-
my pass. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm taking the skyline back. I had my my morning run for the day.
So as you guys kind of go inside and you guys kind of walk around, you find another station that's again same kind of size and scale. It kind of is this big, elongated, kind of curving building, and it is beautiful. At least the stations are pretty. As you walk inside, you notice that there are these big kind of trains that kind of stop on multi-tiers, and they're all dangling kind of from what looks to be a big kind of railway. So it's kind of like an upside down. I'm losing the
Like a suspension, suspension train.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me what they're called. I completely blanked. But basically, it's a big suspension train, and you guys kind of come up to it, and you're sitting there, and again, this is kind of a day in the life for you guys. This place is bustling, hustling. People are coming in and out. You know, it's just how it is, and you're going to be taking the red line back home. As you guys kind of walk inside a train as it stops, it kind of opens up and it's like doo doo doo. Oncoming passengers, please step on with careful antiquities and so it's like all that kind of wonderful stuff. It's like and thank you for taking the skyline. Doo doo doo. Boarding, leaving in 5 minutes. Stuff like that. And what happens is that as you guys kind of walk inside, you notice that these are trashy. There's a lot of like drawings on the wall. It's public transit. You notice that there's like these seats on the side that are just they've lost a lot of their luster. As you guys kind of sit there and you guys kind of go away as you guys take the red line. Bartholomew, what are you doing?
Right, so I'm just walking around and I probably knocked over a couple trash bins and punched a couple loose pieces of if there's any just like trash. I'm just
kind of kicking things as I go, calming down, and then I'm gonna kind of lean up against the wall. I'm gonna take a few deep breaths, and I'm gonna reach inside my coat pocket, just pull out a picture, just kind of look at, just picture me, Dad. I'm just gonna kind of look at it and just be like, I'm really trying, you know that? You know, I'm trying to do something. There's no way to make a difference if there's never nothing to. What's it matter? What's the freaking matter?
You notice that this picture, he's sitting there. He looks very nice. He looks very well dressed. He has a nice kind of slick back hair, kind of like you do. He looks very similar to you, but maybe a little bit more stocky. You know, maybe a little taller. You know, kind of a figure that you feel like is bigger in your own mind, kind of idea. You know, it's a very nice picture. Is what I'm trying to say. Very nice, all in sepia.
I'm just gonna put the picture away, and I'm just gonna go and just kind of walk the rest of, kind of walk my way back towards the office, just taking my time.
Okay, so as you start walking, we cut to you guys coming off the skyline. You guys, you feel the gravity stop. You guys feel like the doors kind of open. Watch your step, please, and thank you for riding the skyline. The red line is now leaving too, and then it kind of says where it needs to go. And as you guys kind of step off, you see the steam. I would like for you three to roll a perception check for me, please.
All right. You better have done better than I did. I got a dare 6.
So what'd you roll? There?
13.
13?
16.
16? Okay. So as you guys are coming off downtrodden, what happens is that Zarga, as you're kind of turning around, something bumps into you, like a person's gonna.
Hey, watch it!
You notice that this figure is wearing a big, kind of what looks to be a blue, like large, wide brim wool, dark blue hat with a big, beautiful blue bow on it. And you notice that the person who bumped into you is much shorter than you are, standing about 5'5", 5'6". And you notice that this figure is wearing a big blue overcoat, and you hear this figure go, I'm sorry, excuse me. As she starts to turn around, but you notice, I'd like you to make an investigation check on her.
Ooh, it's only a 13.
13? You notice that she is human, which is very important. Not a lot of people are human around here.
Yeah.
As she kind of starts to go around,
She was dressed nice.
she was. As she starts to kind of try and go around, you notice she's kind of looking over her shoulder.
Zarga's actually gonna. Hey guys, I'm gonna take a little walk for a second.
You need backup, boss?
Maybe, but keep back. I don't want to freak this person
Yeah,
out.
all right. Do as you need.
You're the boss, after all.
So Zarga's gonna wait a little bit, keeping his eye on her, and he's gonna pursue just slowly behind her.
She's going to roll a...
Do I need to roll stealth? Because I'm
Yes.
trying to. Okay. Oh, that's not great. I'm not doing too hot.
She rolled in that 20.
Yeah, she beat.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, she beat that. That was.
She turns around, she looks at you, and she goes... You can't see her face, but the big hat kind of covers her face. And she goes, sir, I apologize for bumping into you earlier. Could you leave me alone?
Oh, I'm
She
not
kinda tried to
following
look
you.
behind
Just
you.
on my way.
You know, I would like for you two to make a perception check, please.
Can do, will do.
Yeah, I'm a little more perceptive than I was, so hopefully I
Oh,
do
there,
a
that's
better job.
better. I'll take that.
I got it's a 15. Excuse me.
15.
Right back at you, bud. That's a 15 for me.
So as you guys are sitting there, you notice the steam from the trains are kind of coming around. And as you guys kind of look around behind you, you notice that coming off the train you guys came off of are these 3 figures in these long black overcoats.
Yep.
And they're well dressed, and they also have these big hats on. And they kind of have their hands in their pockets, and they're kind of looking around like left and right. And you notice one of them taps the other one, looking at where you guys are, where Zarga is, where the lady in blue is. And you notice that they kind of put their hands in their pockets, and they start walking towards your guys' train.
I am going to make to cut them off.
All right. So Roll. You cut one of them off, and you notice this guy sits there. He's wearing a big silver tie and this like nice collared collar.
And he pulls out his lyre from his back and turns it into a double bass. Hello, sir. Do you have a couple copper to spare for a traveling musician?
Screw off. He kind of tries to walk past you.
As he's going past him, I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy and make more steam from the ship come out.
As that kind of happens, you kind of sitting there like, oh God! As they kind of sit there, and you notice one of them still trying to look, and they're trying to get past you guys. And you notice that, coming back to you, Zarga, you notice that the girl who's kind of looking past you, you still can't see her face. She's like leaning past you. She sees the steam. You know, she perks up and she starts to kind of walk the opposite direction away from you.
Zarga's gonna follow.
She sits there.
He's kind of knowing.
She looks at you. She goes, "Stop following me, please."
He's gonna catch up to her, or if he can.
She's not walking.
Yeah,
super
he's
fast.
gonna catch up to her. Listen, lady. You're making a lot of, well, if you don't mind my saying, you're making a lot of noise coming here dressed like that, looking like you do.
What happens is that
We don't get many humans here, especially not humans dressed like that, and you got some people following you.
So as it happens, she keeps trying to walk away.
He's gonna grab onto her her arm.
As you do that, you turn her around. Brilliant moment where it's like kind of dark and only the light kind of like hits her eyes and her face. You notice that she has this like beautiful black kind of well-kept hair. She has like this very gentle face, dark blue eyes. And you actually would know her right off the bat if you want to roll a history check.
I think I know who she is. Okay, yeah, no. So that's gonna be a 14.
You know this is Eleanor Crytel, the
what?
daughter of the governor of the entire island.
Hold on. What are you doing down here?
She sits there and she goes, let go of me.
Listen, lady, you got some bad people following you, it looks like. And I'm part of the BPS. Part of public safety is
Her
keeping
eyes
the
wide and
governor's
she
daughter
goes-
safe.
She really tries to get away from you at that point.
Listen, lady. What's going on here?
She sits there and she goes, she's going to make a decision. So she sits there and she goes, if you help me out, I'll tell you some things. I need help.
Listen, no thanks necessary. I'll help you out.
So as that happens, she sits there and she kind of grabs onto your arm. She pulls close enough that she's kind of hiding behind you.
Smart. So just walk this way.
So as you start walking, we cut to Albert and Shane.
We're gonna have a problem there, bud.
Sit there and they
Paying
go.
customer here.
You see, they sit there and one of them pulls out a bat, and he's like, "If you don't move."
And
I
he
swear to
would
God."
respond by pulling out his ball and chain.
Another guy pulls out a gun, and he just kind of points it at you, and he goes, "Do you know who we work for?"
I flash him my gun. Do you know who we work for?
Oh, who do you work for?
BPS.
They sit there and they're like,
Boys, what are you doing here?
"We eat these guys for breakfast." You know, you sit there and he sees in his revolver, he cocks it back, and he goes, "Move."
No.
So, what are you gonna do, Albert?
I'm just gonna turn
Let's
my,
go.
my hat away, and I'm just going to I'm going to can I do that again? Yeah, I'm going to cast thaumaturgy one more time, cast a big thing of steam, and I'm gonna grab my friend here, and I'm just going to. They got guns that shoot more bullets than we do. We gotta go.
No, we don't. Shane's standing his ground.
I'm gonna cast at the second level calm emotions.
Ooh.
On my
Well,
friend here.
what am I rolling? Because I have advantage on this save.
It's gonna be. I guess I just got. I'm saying I gotta read. It's a charisma save.
You can cast it on them as well because they're.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's true. Oh yeah, no.
Hey.
You know, but that's the problem is that there's 3 of them and only 1 of him.
You can cast it on it. It's an
Oh,
arrow.
that's a nat 20.
Is it AOE?
Yeah, so they also count.
Oh well, then I'm gonna do it that way then. I didn't know it's an AOE.
They failed. So what happens is that they sit there and they're like, "No, you're right. You're fine." And they sit there and they go, "We'll just leave you alone, BPS agent." They're like, "Yeah." They kind of nudge each other and they start walking away.
Well, that was a close call. That's what they called that.
What'd you do that for?
They got 18 rounds on them, and they're 2 of us.
Yeah. It's kind of what we're trained to do.
Yeah, we're not trained to die.
So as
I'm trained to keep people alive. That
So-
includes you, buddy. I love you. I'm gonna pat him on the back.
as you guys kind of start to sit
He-
there at the station,
He shoves it off and walks.
as you guys start walking away, We see kind of the steam kind of go for a moment, and at that moment, we take a break.
We've seen a day for these down-on-their-luck officers. However, today isn't quite going the usual route. Who is this mysterious young woman, and who's after her? And why? We'll find out after this brief break. In the meantime, while our heroes catch their breath, let's see how their fate looks. The tower in which our heroes have pulled from seems to be stable for the most part. It appears that there's one space where only one piece remains. I'd be a little careful when pulling from that specific area. Overall, they have not tempted fate, which is just fine. That makes my life a little easier. However, the day that they do, well, that might not be so good for them. Destiny is a fickle thing. No one knows what their destiny is, or when it'll come, or if it's good or evil. But for our heroes, the unstoppable hands of destiny just knocked on their door. Only time will tell whether or not it's good or evil.
So we open to shadows kind of walking across the city, like kind of buildings, kind of lights kind of pouring these elongated shadows onto the buildings, silhouetting other people who are walking across them. And that is our dear friends at Zarga, Shane, and Albert. As you guys are walking back to the office, in tow next to Zarga, kind of on his arm, is the lady dressed in blue. Now, you don't know who she is yet, but as you guys are kind of walking, she looks very edgy, very twitchy. She's very, like, looking over her shoulder a lot. She's very on edge about something. So, as you guys are walking, what would you like to do?
Shane would just be giving Albert side eye.
And I'm just giving my eye to the road behind us because I don't want to make sure we're followed.
Zarga's gonna pull out his case of cigarettes, and I didn't describe it before. It's actually a black metal case with some gold inlay, right? He's gonna pop it open, and there are custom carousel cigarettes in there. He has them custom made with very special tobacco. It's got 3 gold bands around the end. He's gonna pull one out, and he's going to offer it to his lady companion inside.
She's gonna refuse. She's just gonna she's just like shakes her head and moves her hand. No.
Mind if I do?
She goes, I have no problem with that. No.
So he's gonna light one up, and he's gonna just look around to make sure that those guys aren't following.
And as you guys turn a corner, we go to another corner. We see Bartholomew walking around that other corner, kind of like a cut, almost. Bartholomew, it's just you by yourself, and you're walking. The rain's kind of pouring. And I'm gonna say you're getting closer to the office at this point.
Right.
What would you like to do?
I'm just thinking about how we're not really making a difference, and it's just been nagging at me, bugging me, and it's getting close to the anniversary day, and so I'm just kind of just all around just a little more melancholy, and just kind of using this time to clear my head before, being back in front of the guys in the office. So
Roll a perception check for me, please.
also nat 20 for.
So
yeah.
as you're walking, you notice that there's a group of guys who are about to bump into you, and you kind of notice last second. You move out of the way.
No, I don't. I just.
Oh, well, but
I just
you bump into them.
Yeah.
Kind of this crowded street. They kind of bump into you. They're wearing these long, kind of black coats, and they have
Right.
silver ties and big hats.
Mhm.
They kind of look at you, size you up, and they walk the opposite direction.
Like I bumped into them. Did they just keep walking?
Yeah, they just kept walking. They didn't care about
Okay.
you. They kind of looked at you, kind of sizing you up, and walked away.
Okay. And did I notice anything different or special
You
about
can
them?
roll the insight on them.
Right. Insight, you said?
Yep.
Not near as good. Not bad. It's a 9.
You can suspect they might be a little shifty, but that's kind of a lot of people in
Yeah,
the city,
right.
you know? So
I just kind of look back at him and kind of just kind of grunt at him and keep moving.
So as that happens, just kind of only like a minute or two ahead of you are your companions, and they actually end up getting to the office. There's still no door there. You guys kind of walk into the building and step on the door.
You'll have to excuse the office. We're in the middle of remodeling.
And then she's kind of looking around, kind of. She goes, So you weren't lying. You are a BPS agent.
Oh yeah, we're all BPS.
Okay, good. I guess.
I know we don't look it, but we do our job.
She kind of sits there and keeps looking around, like not knowing what to do.
Kind of gonna gesture up the stairs.
You know she's wearing these big thick boots that have like a big high heel, like a high heel boot almost.
Oh, yeah.
They're big
Whoa.
black. This just gives her an extra inch, and she kind of starts walking up these steps.
Who is that?
You'll see once we get up the stairs. I don't want to let it be a surprise for you.
All right. I'll see where this goes.
Yep.
So as that happens, as they start walking up the stairs, I'm going to say Bartholomew. You walk into the building. You notice that maybe who's the last one going up the stairs? Probably Albert.
Oh, yeah, I take my time.
You kind of see the tail end of Albert kind of turning around the corner.
And just follow up after.
Yep. So as that happens, Evie's still just sitting there like,
Hey there, Sugar Fur.
Oh, hey there, Chief. How's it going?
Pretty good. We got a guest, so if you would be so kind as to maybe go get some coffee or something.
Oh, yeah. You paying for it?
Well, I mean, I did get this today. He's going to pull his wallet out and he's going to pull out 2 silver notes and a bronze note and hand it to her. Put this in the fund and use it to help pay for the door.
Okay, that works for me.
she takes it and she just kind of puts it in a little box that has no money in it, and she just puts it and puts it away. As that happens, she goes back to her magazine and she goes, "Have fun in there, boys." As you guys kind of walk inside, and Bartholomew, you kind of follow up behind, and she goes, "Oh, hello, Bartholomew. You go on inside. They're waiting in there."
Right. So, I just want to say, who's this?
Yeah, who is this?
You notice as you guys walk inside, she takes off the hat, and the thing is because the lights are kind of starting to dim a little bit, it's like, and they kind of turn back on. It's almost like the light kind of like almost shadows her. As you can see, kind of like the corner of her face, you see this beautiful, thick, like very clean black hair.
Damn, what rust.
You notice that she sits there. She has the beautiful sapphire eyes. And she lays her hat on the closest desk to her. I'm going to say it's your desk. She just kind of puts it there.
Zarga's going to pull his chair out for her, kind of motion to it.
She just kind of refuses to sit.
Jeepers.
Do I recognize her?
We have
roll
a
history
poster
check.
of her on the
You
wall.
do have a poster of her on there.
We got a pin up over there.
That there
I do?
that there is Ms. Crytel.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do. You do. Okay. Okay. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, Albert, you know. So if you want to tell everybody.
None of you know. This is Ellie Crytel. She's the mayor's daughter.
Oh,
Shite, what the hell are you doing here for?
She sits, kind of leans up on your desk. She goes,
Zarga's going to reach over and put the picture of the half elf down.
is she half elven? Is it?
no, she's human. She's straight
No,
human.
he doesn't have. That's not the picture. He's got a pin up.
Oh, TT. Okay, I understand.
She was looking at that, by the way.
Ooh.
And she was just kind of like, okay. As she kind of leans up on the desk, she sits there and she has these big black gloves on. And she takes off the 2 gloves and she puts them with her hat. And she goes, "So, are you in direct relation to higher BPS agents?" Like,
Now we wish.
Just us, Station 26.
Would you like some water, Miss Crytel?
We got coffee if you want.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you. She kind of looks around and she's kind of uncomfortable. She kind of gets up and she looks over at this like kind of window you guys have. She's kind of looking out like in the corner, trying not to be seen.
So, if you don't mind my asking, what brings you this deep into the city?
She goes,
This ain't exactly Ritz Town.
That's my business.
But seeing as I just saved your ass from 2 shady-looking motherfuckers,
Ended up being about 3, actually. There was one in the mist, yeah.
even better.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
It's not so great with my charisma, but we'll try it out. We'll try it out. Yeah, that's gonna be a 7. That's gonna be a 7.
Good. Okay, so she's like,
You said 3. I went into 3 blokes as I was coming around.
Black
corner.
coat, silver ties.
Yeah.
Look like they're a lot
Right.
more fancier than
Right,
the
yeah.
people down here.
Don't fit in really. They have to.
she sits there and she goes, Do you still have the smoke you'd be willing to offer me?
He's gonna pop it out and open up the case.
She pulls out a smoke and she pulls out a gold like lighter. She kind of old style. She kind of opens up on the sides. She sits there and she closes it.
That could feed 10 families where I'm from. Just a little lighter. Shane just goes and sits in his chair.
Excuse him, he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Right, so Miss Crytel, you're kind of sticking out like a sore thumb here. So, do you need us to escort you back, or what?
I have a question for you. She looks at you for a moment. She looks at kind of all you guys and she goes, she kind of seems she gets an idea in her head. She goes, how good are you guys at your job?
Well, I'd say we're pretty good. He's gonna motion up to his investigator of the year, 1150.
I mean,
I'm gonna look over at the cat picture we've got up on on his desk.
What you see in the cat picture is it's a cat that has like these wide eyes, and it's in like some like it's in the wire, and it's kind of like with its fur on end. It's a really unglorious picture. And there's just like a picture of maybe like me with like the it's not with me, it'd be with Bart, and he has like the tuna in his hand. And I'm taking the see my hand like the picture, like trying to gesture him to move in.
we're a little under the radar, but we're you good, boy.
So you have no real connection to Precinct 1?
Well, we know a guy, but we don't talk to him. We're
Yeah.
not on speaking terms.
We don't like to say his name. He's kind of sort.
Renee Lysander.
Do you know Renee Lysander?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's
Kinda
a
like-
capital P prick.
Yeah.
So you don't like him?
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
wait.
If you could see, well,
You the one that tossed it in the fire. I
I'm
wanted to
fine.
use it as a dartboard still.
yeah. He sends us a picture every month. We use it as a.
He used to be my partner years and years ago.
Do you still talk to him now?
Hell no. Except for when he shows up at a job ahead of time of us, steals it.
That's all he's good at. Thieving.
So you're under the radar. You're decent at your job. She sits there. She kind of puts her hands in her hair and she's like, ah. Would you like a job?
No.
How can we refuse?
I mean, I'm not doing
Well,
anything.
hold on. It's not like saving some cat or, helping a grandma cross the street or. Well, is this a real job? So we could really use the funds if you can't tell.
As you start to say that, the power starts to.
Ah, hell.
I'm gonna go stoke the. I walk over the middle. I'm gonna like throw some loose paper and stoke the fire in the middle.
You notice that her cigarette kind of lights up her face as she sits there and she goes, I'm trying to meet a friend.
Ah, what's
Okay.
the lucky guy's name?
His name is Carter. Gallius Carter. He's a blood hunter.
Well, hold on. Say again.
He's a blood hunter. He works up in precinct 4.
Do I know? Would I know him?
No, not really, but you'd know that he's a part of your
He's
your
part of the.
associate.
He's
Yeah.
part of the guild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Well, I could probably help us out there.
Yeah, Bart over here, he's the expert on all things supernatural. He can
both-
go bump in the night.
Bartholomew is my name.
Well, nice to meet you. What are all your names?
My name's Albert. Albert Albertson. Mr. Albert was my father. Just call me Albert.
She puts the cigarette in her mouth and she extends her hand out like it's a big handshake.
Oh, that's a fine. Oh man, this here is Eleanor Crytel, and I'm gonna start
You
shaking.
start shaking it.
Somebody get the camera up there on the.
Zarga actually will get the camera and snap a.
Did you do that?
I'm gonna do a thumbs up. Yeah.
Wait, did you do that?
Yeah.
She's gonna attempt to break the camera.
Oh, he's gonna reach it away.
She failed.
Hey,
She
that's
failed.
expensive equipment.
She tried to do dicks. She was trying to smack it out. She goes, if you don't mind, can you burn the picture?
Don't, yeah, I'll burn it. I'll burn
right,
it.
yeah.
Set it back up way far away.
Yeah.
I'm not burning it.
Yeah, we're not burning the phone.
So, as that happens, she sits here and she goes, your name is Bartholomew?
Bartholomew Kolb.
She sits there and she shakes your hand. It's not like a lady handshake. It's like a business handshake.
Ooh.
That's how she does it. Right?
Ooh.
She sits there and she comes up to you and she goes, "And your name?"
No.
Gloomy goat over there is Shane Westing.
West District.
Thank you, West District.
Oh, is she from West District?
Yeah, something along that lines.
Oof. Do you need anything? Do you need to?
It's funny. I never expected pity from you. And Shane would just turn around.
Hey, forgive him. Zarga's gonna come over, kind of lead her away from him. You forgive him. He's got a little bit of history, a past. He doesn't really like people from the, upper classes. Me, on the other hand, I've got class. I understand when a lady like you comes in our district that you deserve a little bit of a higher treatment.
She sits there and she goes, "Thank you.
Oh yes. By the way, Station Chief Zarga Felbest.
Nice to meet you, Eleanor Crytel." She shakes your hand. Kind of nice, firm handshake. And after she does that, she goes, "Listen, I'm in some deep shit. She walks over to the window again. She's looking out.
Well, if anyone comes in here, miss, I mean, they gotta get through 4 BPS agents. So, I mean,
How would you like to make a big profit?
Even a question.
10,000 gold notes.
what? Wait, I'm sorry. You say that again.
10,000 gold notes.
Like you're talking 4 zeros after the 1.
4 zeros after the 1.
Oh shit.
Listen.
And wait. Is it? Do we get the? We solved the case. We get the credit for it.
I wouldn't think that's really important, but yes.
Right.
We're in.
Okay.
Listen, I can't see much. She sits there. She again leans down. You see
Nobody
the
ever
cigarette
can.
smoke. Again, it's dark. As that happens, she goes, "I can't say much."
Right.
I'm gonna grab something to take notes with and sit down next to her.
I was gonna go meet a friend of mine. Seems Carter. At least that's what I call him, but his full name is Gallius Carter.
Yeah, guy
he-
from Station 4.
Yeah, he's BPS too. Some things happened, and I don't. But he has something that I really need. Thing is if I go and get it, they're gonna get both of us, and they'll get what I. Yeah. She sits there and she keeps smoking a cigarette.
So you want us to go get him for you, bring him here? What's the plan?
I just need you to go find him, and I need you to go and listen to him, and if he takes you anywhere, just go with him. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't trust you very much. But you
Well,
do
shit,
work.
feelings mutual.
You do work for certain people. She sits there and she goes,
Lady down here, those upper crusts in Station 1 couldn't give less of a shit about us.
it's not just. She sits there and she keeps smoking. At this point, the cigarette's gone. And as soon as she flicks it, the lights kind of.
He's gonna offer another one to her.
When that happens, you notice that she pays a lot of attention to the lights. She's paying a lot of attention to the lights. As she sits there, and she looks around, and she kind of sits there. She starts fiddling with her fingers. She picks up her gloves, and she starts fiddling with that too. She goes,
Right. So you need us to get something from. What do you need?
I just need you to meet with him in my stead.
Oh, right. So do we lead with that we know you, or is that a secret?
If you meet with him, just tell him that Eleanor sent you or Ellie sent you.
All right. And he'll give us what we need from there.
Yeah. Well, he'll know what to do when
Okay.
you meet him.
And we know the job's complete when he says it is. You say he.
I need to roll all perception checks.
Jeez.
I wonder, do we have a way to stay in contact with you at all?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, Albert, what'd you roll?
What was it, perception, correct?
Yeah.
It is. Oh, it is pretty good actually. That's like a 15.
Okay, what did you roll there, Bartholomew?
Right, that's a 17 for me.
17.
Nat 1.
You're kind of in a mood.
It's a 4.
4.
Yeah, I'm just kind of staring at the.
The hot lady in front of you. So at what you guys hear is like the sound of something dropping outside. It's like a can goes like, and you hear like a cat go, right? And you see she also rolled really well. She kind of sits there and she looks out, like almost like a dog being alert. She just like looks out the window.
Is there something outside?
She sits there and she goes. She kind of pulls you guys closer, and she goes, "It has been a real pleasure talking to you boys." And she goes into her sleeve and she pulls out a handkerchief. She goes, "If you're gonna go meet my dearest friend, just give this to him for me." And she goes over to Zarga, and she gives you this handkerchief. And she goes, "It has been a real joy talking to you all."
Oh,
it's been a
Feelings, feelings mutual.
Yeah,
And if you're ever down in our district again, pay us a
Yeah.
visit.
She pulls you close and she goes, "You can't trust anybody. You can't trust anybody in this city. You gotta trust you and the people in this room."
Can do.
She sits there and she, I want you to roll a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
Alright.
All of us, or just?
Just him.
Alright, so that's gonna be a 13.
All right, so she manages to. What happens is as you're sitting there, she notices she pulls your cigarettes are in her hand, and she did a sleight of hand check to try and get your cigarette.
Hey.
She sits there, she pulls one out. She goes, "I'm just taking one for the road." She puts it back in your pocket, and she goes, "Meet Carter, and help all you go and be careful."
Be safe. That's our
Be
motto.
safe there,
You need,
Miss Ellie.
You find walking back on your own.
I think it's best.
If you say so,
I just need you to go meet Carter. Okay?
Can do, man. Can do.
Again, don't trust anybody.
Hey, if it's a little embarrassing to ask, but if it's not too much, see, we're big fans here. Would you mind signing the poster?
She takes the poster, she puts some lipstick on, she kisses it, and she slides it over to you.
Whoa!
And then she sits there and she goes, "Happy hunting, boys." And she closes the door.
All right, so
That there's gonna sell for a lot of money.
We ain't selling this. This is going on the wall. We're gonna.
right, somebody pinch me, right? 10,000 notes, notoriety. You might get the promotion, chief.
Well, that'd be nice.
We all might get some credit. Might do something real beneficial here.
I could buy a stethoscope. A real one.
You could buy a gold
We
stethoscope.
don't have to use a cup no more.
Right. I mean, this could move us out of.
Yeah, 26.
We could buy a door.
We could buy a door. We could buy a million doors.
That's a lot of doors.
Shane, you've been awfully quiet. What's wrong?
Well, this is 10,000 big ones we're talking about.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of fun with this. I'm gonna keep sitting back and thinking about how I woke up in a dumpster. Right? Woke up in a slum that literally people live in cardboard boxes. Right? People literally starve themselves to make sure their kids can eat. And that girl shows up in this office with a solid gold lighter and promises us 10,000 gold notes. You know what that could have gone to? The promises her father made during the election.
Well, hey, mate, listen here.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
You don't go talk to me about the damn election.
I'm gonna point over at the poster of Orland posted up there.
Now, here's the thing. We can complain all we want about it, but right now, there's nothing we can do. But if we do this, we get the power. Maybe we can do something about it. But we refuse this. I mean, it's a hand up. You want to sit down at the bottom of the stairs or pouty sitting on your ass, go right ahead. I'm going to take this step up so I can do something about it. You got to take what's in front of you, mate. It's one move at a time. One move at a time, one move, and then when you're there, right, then you can take it. You can take it and do what you want and get people out of boxes and stuff.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it. I just don't understand why y'all are dancing around here with your dicks flopping about, celebrating that you got a kiss on a poster.
Well, I'm more celebrating that we're gonna have 10,000 big ones in the bank. The kiss on the post is a cherry on top.
Well, I mean, say what you will, mate. She's a fine lady.
I do
Oh,
like
hell
cherries.
yeah, she was. All right, so gentlemen, I say we head up to District. What was it? Was it 4?
Right.
Yeah, we head up to District
District
4
4.
and hit up our friend Carter.
So, well, here's what I don't get. She wants us to meet with him.
Yeah.
Why?
Hell, if I know, I guess we'll find out.
He's a blood hunter. I think it's kind of obvious.
Something magical going on, maybe.
Right.
It's right up your alley.
I mean, I can definitely talk to him if he's part of the guild. I mean,
That's true.
Well,
I'll know
boys,
him to some extent. I mean, members of the guild respect members of the guild, so...
And I mean, the upper crust loves nothing more than a little contract killing. Gets people out of their way.
4 is a long way away from here, so better load up.
You put the handkerchief away?
He's gonna actually take out his purple one, put it in his pocket, and he's gonna open up the handkerchief, like kind of
Okay,
look
so
at
roll investigation.
Oh, jeez.
it. Oh yeah, that's a 26.
There is a spot of blood on it, and on top of that, there is actually a. Hold on, give me a second. There's actually a message written in cursive on it.
What's it say?
It says, "Red's the way to go. It leads to the gate to my heart."
Okay, some kind of love poem, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, isn't there a red line? Like the.
Yeah, there's a red line.
Red line.
Yeah, the
He
red
didn't read
line.
it out loud. He just kind of looked.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I like that you're invested.
No, he just kind of. Zaga just kind of shrugs, folds it up into a pocket square, like a rose fold.
What was
Puts it
on
in
it there,
his-
boss?
She'd written something on there, probably for Carter.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. What's say?
He's gonna whip it back out. He was trying to keep it to himself. But he's gonna whip it out.
This is a small office, man. There's not much room for secrets.
So he opens it up.
And it says, so this is in Zarga's voice, "Red's the way to go.
That's the way to go.
It leads,
Leads
to the gate."
to my heart. And then he's got a
Okay.
little red dot. It looks like blood.
Right, so...
Actually, I would like for you to roll investigation.
Me?
Yeah, because something's kind of coming off of that handkerchief.
Oh, 23.
So the blood's kind of sparkling.
Right, give me that.
Here you go, but I better get that back.
I'm gonna smell it.
So it's actually the blood of a blood hunter.
Okay.
Right.
You picking up something there that ain't perfume or something
on.
fancy?
Can I...
I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna get the scent. Can I? We're gonna take the line or whatever to go. Can I track him with this?
You actually can't. It's not. It's old enough. It's old enough that
Okay.
it's not like that you
Yeah.
could track it, but
Yeah.
you can tell what it is. Does that make any sense? Not fresh blood.
Okay, what is it? What am I picking up?
It is. It is. Roll another roll. You don't roll a. Roll a history check. So you'd actually know some of this stuff for you.
Okay. Just I'm.
No, it's fine. No, this is good.
So history. Okay.
This is the kind of questions I like.
Even better. 24.
So you know that with blood hunters in the guild, they all kind of have a shared kind of blood, and you know that this is actually, you can identify who it belongs to, but you can't track it. It actually belongs to Carter.
Okay, so. So it's legitimate, like.
Yeah, it's legit.
Right, so this is his blood.
Oh boy, maybe they're in a little deeper than I thought.
So, let's just proceed with caution. He's a member of a guild, so invariably I trust him a bit more than the average bloke, but...
It's fair.
It's fair.
Anyway,
Right. Don't lose this.
oh hell no, it's staying in my breast pocket.
So the 4th district then?
District number 4.
I'll collect my my files on who I know up there.
Right.
And we'll head out.
I'll let me grab a couple of things as well. Head out in a few.
Yeah, sounds good.
So Precinct 4, if you're going to go and find what Precinct 4 is, it's actually going to be in the Roosts. That's rich people. The Roosts is rich people town.
So Shane would have no contacts there.
Nope.
No, he would not.
Can I,
It's time for schmoozing.
from my kind of library, little miniature library I have, can I, any books or scrolls that I have on, like, from the guild specifically, like any, like, guild etiquette, anything like that, I'm going to take a couple of those books.
Oh, smart move.
So if I need to refer back to it, I can.
Yeah.
So
No, that's smart
I'll
move.
I'll
Good
take
move.
that with me.
Good move.
Zarga's actually gonna go over to his desk, and he's gonna open the bottom drawer right underneath the drawer with the whiskey. He's gonna pull out a set of very nice clothes. It's a nice white shirt, a black suit, and some nicer, like low quarter shoes that are shined and polished. And he's going to take them. Do we have a bathroom?
You do. You have a privy.
Yeah, he's gonna go into the privy and he's gonna change into it. Get all nice and spiffied up, tie a tie around actually, button it up, put his holster on, slide it in, and then toss his hat on and walk out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we better look the part, boys.
Reliving the glory days, are you, Chief?
Something along those lines. He's gonna take the handkerchief out of his old jacket, stuff it in.
It looks really nice there. I don't keep clothes in my office.
I spend more time here than I do at home.
Shane's gonna go over to Keyfine's cage, and you'll see him take out some food and give it to Keyfine, but you don't hear any hooting or anything from him. You just kind of hear a as he eats, and then he climbs up on his shoulder. I mean, I don't got nothing else besides this.
Are we gonna head out just right away, or just?
Well, my question is, you two kind of present humanoid to a certain degree. Albert,
Yeah.
they really don't like us where we're going, and especially people that look the way we do.
I don't know. I think I got myself a bit of a. My ears are a bit more cute, I like to think.
Well, I got goat legs.
You do got goat legs. I think they're rather charming myself.
I do too. I like them a lot, but they don't. So, anybody got pants?
Right.
I'm not gonna let you borrow
He's
mine
gonna
for obvious
toss.
reasons.
He's actually gonna toss his pair of the his black work pants, and try them on for size. My waist might be a little larger.
He'll fashion them on.
He's gonna throw you his belt too.
You're like on
cinch
the
it up.
last hole of the belt.
Yeah, and so the horns are still a big deal here, and the hooves are there, but you know, the leg fur's covered up a little bit.
Oh, I'd like to know that the suit Zarg is wearing, it's nice, but it is not well fitted anymore. It is very, very tight.
So we all going to go to the Roots. The Roosts.
Yeah, I guess so. All
So
right.
you're going to the Roosts.
Zarg is kind of like sucking his gut up. And
So, for time's sake, you guys go and you leave, and you guys. I'm going to say, are you going on the skyline? Or you're going to walk there.
We'll do the skyline this time.
Yeah, we're gonna take the skyline now.
So you
Taking
go
the
up there.
skyline.
This is my traveling system. As you guys get up there, you get inside the skyline. The doors close. Doo doo doo. Red line going to the Roosts. You know. Beware of the closing doors, please. Doo doo doo.
Smoke as we go.
As
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys
gonna
kind of,
smoke a bit as I go.
you know, kind of as you guys are going. Again, if this was like a video game, this would be like your loading screen.
What brand do you use?
Like,
Smoke aerosol. Although I don't discriminate.
If this is our loading screen, what is our little fun fact that pops up in the bottom left-hand corner telling us about the world?
little fun fact, little fun facts. Here, well, if this was like Skyrim, it'd have like a BPS badge. It'd be like scooting around. No, it's usually really quiet because everyone turns off the music, right? And so,
Well, I mean,
and so what happens is it's just turning around. It's like the Bureau of Public Safety is an establishment that was formed over 130 years ago, and stuff like that.
Okay.
As that happens, the doors open up. I'm not gonna do that all the time. So what happens is that the doors open up, with steam kind of comes out, and what will happen is that you guys step off the train, and by the way, as you guys were driving through, you noticed the buildings. You can actually see the skyline. this part of the city is more open and wide. Actually, the buildings here are ritzy as all get go. Art Deco, large skyscrapers that kind of extend up into the sky. Like, and instead of you see gargoyles, you see like these dragons that kind of like hold up every single spot. Like every single like kind of animal that's here is represented with a dragon. That's kind of surrounding everything.
I'll take out my packet of Dragon's Breath cigarettes. This isn't an advertisement, but I'm going to take it out and just kind of compare, just look at them. Is it the...
Yeah, a lot of them are drakes, a lot of them are wyverns, a lot of them are very, very noble dragons.
Put it back.
As you sit there, you notice that there's a fountain that has a dragon, that group of dragons. They're like twisting together. It's like a hydra, and they like are pumping out water from their mouth, kind of thing.
Wow.
Like dragons are a big motif here. So as you guys are in here, you notice the people dressed nicer. You notice that there are some like half orcs, some goblins, some. Once in a while, you'll even see like maybe even a furbolg walking by, and they're all dressed to the nines, and they're having a good time. But mainly the people here are like elves, humans, and dwarves. And the moment you get off of the train, a guard wearing a large like kind of blue overcoat with a large like black cloak, a big kind of like he has like this cap, and on it has a dragon insignia on it. He comes up to you and he has a rifle and he has a big kind of what looks to be a long sword at his side. Comes up to you guys and he goes, hey, hold on. He goes, what's your business here?
It's all right, pal. Zaga Felbest, Station Chief, BPS District 26.
And who are these guys?
These are my companions.
Yeah, we're with him, and so we have. I'll pull my badge.
Yeah, we'll pull out our badges.
He sits there and he goes, okay, fine, BPS.
Yeah.
All right. What's your business here?
We're gonna go talk about a case with one of our friends in Section 4.
No, that's just boring shit. You guys can go ahead. Go ahead.
Appreciate it.
Shane is just staring daggers.
And by the way, this
at
guy's a
guy.
human, by the way.
Yeah, no,
So-
staring daggers.
So
Racist prick. He's gonna flick his cigarette away as he's.
as that happens, you guys kind of, he kind of shoos you guys away out of the station. But the station here is glitz and glamour. It's like kind of like a big, beautiful Art Deco station with, again, dragons kind of holding up the roof of the station. It's very, very nice. As you guys kind of leave the station, this city is glitz and glamour. Again, beautiful Art Deco buildings, giant skyscrapers. It is beautiful. Think like Chicago 1920s.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Like it is absolutely gorgeous. Go black and gold steel, black metals and like gold platedness is kind of the motif. It's like the colors out here. Lots of lights. It's starting to become like 5 o'clock, so you can actually see the sun, by the way, when you guys walk out here. So that might, you guys kind of like blink a little bit when you see it.
That's a new sight.
You know?
Seen that in a little bit.
Brace gorilla, am I right? Yeah.
Right.
Shane has gone from like visibly angsty to visibly uncomfortable. Like he doesn't feel right here.
So as you guys
You okay
kind of,
there, buddy?
Well,
I
I feel safe down there. Here I can't.
That's fair.
If there ain't 10 inches of grease pouring off the side of your wall, I don't like it.
Hey, trust me, pal, you'll get used to it. This place is nice. And once we get this job finished, who knows? Maybe we'll be stuck here. Am I right?
No, I'm going back.
Suit yourself.
Respectfully, Chief, I'm going back.
so as that happens, you're walking around. You notice people are dressed to the nines out here. As you guys walk up to what is the BPS station here, the BPS station here is large. It's actually its own like kind of tall skyscraper, about 14 stories high. On there, they have a big insignia, proud symbol with the wyvern and BPS. You notice that it says precinct number 4, and it says that it's here in the roosts. So as you guys walk up to the doors, you notice that there's like a group of the same kind of people in the blue long coats, the caps with the dragon insignia on, and the kind of black coats, the big rifles, and the long swords. They kind of stop you and like, wait, hold on. Who are you guys?
BPS Station Chief Zaga Felbest.
Okay, what's your business here?
We're here to talk to a Mr. Agent Carter.
That's not our business. Go inside.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And these aren't BPS. These are like
These
city
are
guard.
like, these like city guard. These are
City
like
guard.
soldiers.
Okay.
Salute them prima, am I right?
So as you guys walk inside, this is a beautiful building. It has like these beautiful kind of marble floors. It is like a police station, almost like. The Bureau of Public Safety gets a lot of money here. As you guys kind of walk inside, you notice there's a big front desk, and their secretary is a half elf. She's just sitting there typing away.
Chief, you want to take the lead here?
Yeah, he's gonna walk up. Hey there, sweetheart.
Oh, hello. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, we're here to see I'm gonna roll a history check to try and remember his first name. That was not very good. It's gonna be a 13.
You remember? I'm gonna say it's a pass. It's Gallius Carter.
We're to see an Agent Gallius Carter, blood hunter.
You see, she's gonna sting.
It's in relation to a case in 26. We were told he might have some information.
You said Gallius Carter?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Give me a second.
Yeah,
She
no
said-
problem.
Insight check. Can I make
insight.
one?
Actually, he's
Yeah,
same
I
here.
would join in on
Because I saw that
Shady.
face. Yeah, I didn't like that.
I'm just taking in the sights here.
That's a 15 from Shane.
21.
So 21 from
It's
Zarga.
only one from Zaga.
22 from me.
So you and Zarga, and I'm gonna say Shane. She's not really trying to hide it. She's gonna be calling some people. She. This is a big thing for her that you guys just brought up Gallius. So she's sitting there. She pulls out a little phone. She kind of again style. She kind of connects some boards. She makes a phone call and she goes, yes. There are a couple agents from precinct. What was it again?
26.
26 here to talk about Gallius Carter. Thank you. There's going to be a group of gentlemen who are going to come down. They're going to talk to you about Gallius.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And we're not going to see Gallius.
He's currently not in the office at the moment.
I
Yeah.
see. Probably out on the case. They're busy people here. And thank you very much for your time.
Oh, are you
I
sure you don't want to
appreciate
meet these the gentlemen?
Oh, no, we'll wait here. We'll wait for
Oh,
them. I was
fantastic.
just letting you know. You're going to get back to your work. I'm sure you're a very busy woman.
Oh, thank you.
So he's going to walk over. Actually, Zarga's going to kind of walk over, whisper in Bart's ear. Hey, is there something up with this guy that you know? Since he's a blood hunter, you two are same.
Would I know anything?
No.
Okay.
These guys, I mean, if you refer to the book,
I'll pull it out and kind of flip through. Is there like? Did I? The way she said it, like I don't know what's in what I necessarily.
He's got a pretty good track record on the book. He's pretty popular. He's got a good track record. He is he's a cool guy. What it seems to be on the book there. He really is clean. This is updated last month is when it was delivered to you. So yeah, he seems
so
like a good
he's-
dude.
Right.
Pretty good track record.
Okay, I'll say back to the chief.
I mean,
Well, we're just kind of sitting there waiting.
I mean, from what I can tell here, he's
Clean record.
Yeah, maybe there's something going on we don't know about. Because
Well,
she seems
I'm
pretty
wondering-
shifty on that.
I'm wondering if who's coming to meet us. She said not to trust anyone.
Well, we're not
I
gonna
feel
talk
like
on
we're
this.
going to get beat up.
At that moment, what you hear a, oh, holy smokes. It is who I think it is, right? And you guys turn around, and with the group of gentlemen is Renee Lysander.
My God.
You see, Renee is wearing a very nice blue-collared shirt with a black tie, a white vest, and white pants. He's wearing some nice boots, some very, very fashionable black boots that are covered by the pant. Over it, he's wearing a very long kind of black overcoat that goes with it, that cuffs at the end and has white trimmings. His hair is slicked back, but with a little bit kind of coming down to give him a bit of a roguish look, you know. He sits there and he's got these nice, clean cut kind of sideburns. He has dark gray skin, and he has got just the most pretty yellow eyes you would ever seen. Let me tell you, and he's got a smile that sells $1 million. His tusks, nice and clean. Oh, this guy he's peak
I
quality.
hate him.
He's just he makes me cringe anytime I see.
And you notice he's with a group of other gentlemen.
Zarga
who are all
can't
dressed
hide
up
the
really.
cringe when he kind of turns and looks. He's like,
He's with a group of other gentlemen. He goes, Zarga, how have you been, my dear friend?
I've seen better days, obviously, but not doing too bad. We're solving lots of cases in 26.
Ah, good, Albert. How are you doing? Still working your medical magic?
Yeah. I am doing just fine. Yeah.
He comes up and he kind of gives you a nudge. He goes, Bartholomew, how's it going?
1, 2.
Still does that. He goes, and
Oh, yeah, this is a new guy. He took your spot.
yeah, you're the guy who took over after me. Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. The name.
Seder. That's nice.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you. The name's Shane, West District.
Nice to meet you, Mr. West District. My name is Lysander.
Oh!
Renee Lysander.
You're
Yeah,
the guy
this is
they
Ren-
throw darts at.
Oh,
Yeah, all in
know.
good fun. All in good fun, Renee. You know how it is.
I know how it can be. I understand how it is. So, here you guys have some questions about Gallius Carter.
Yeah, we're working a case in 26.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going to hand you this. Gives you a piece of paper.
He's gonna take it.
What's it say, boss?
What's it say, God?
It says this is not your jurisdiction. The investigation on Gallius Carter is now in the jurisdiction of Precinct 1 through 4, and he's currently been labeled wanted by the federal government.
Oh man, what'd the guy do?
Oh, that's classified. It's above your pay grade.
You know, I used to be above your pay grade too, pal.
Right.
Shane would like to roll perception around him to see if there's any more gentlemen coming around us more quiet like.
Sure, roll a perception check.
So,
Just taking over.
1 through 4, huh? That's a lot of districts to work on one case.
Yeah.
20.
20?
20.
Yeah, it's just a group of them. They're sitting there just looking at you guys.
Are they giving us? They're kind of just telling us off. Is that kind of the okay?
They're just telling you this is
Must
not.
be a
your-
pretty big deal, this guy, huh?
Yeah, he is.
It's funny seeing I never heard of him before, and I stay updated on Chain of Command.
Oh, well, that's because you're down there in the bottom, you know. So he sits there and he goes, all right, so gentlemen, thank you for so much for coming in. But what do you guys know? Actually, before you go, what do you guys know about Mr. Carter?
Oh, it's just Bart here didn't. There was some magic stuff going on, and Bart didn't know about it, and he knew this guy from the book. Said he's a clean man and he knows his shit. So we were coming up here to try and get some information out.
Very specific gentleman, huh?
Yeah. Well, we pulled our straws out of the book. You know how it is.
Yeah, I do.
I'd say it's a little below your pay grade, pal.
Yeah. A
Right.
little below.
So, just for guild's sake, we got a description on him in case he,
Yeah, in case
we
he shows up.
come across him. We can call you up and let you know all about him, old friend.
Well,
And I would say like Bartholomew is like arms crossed, is like clenching fists, is like trying his very best to be calm, cool, and collected.
Suzanne goes, hey, Albert, you still smoke them carousels?
As you would have, anybody who's looking at it would have noticed, I've actually burned through 3 cigarettes so far.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And as he says that, he turns around to look at him, and I'm on my 4th. and he looks up at him. Yeah. What's going on there?
I just wanted to see if I could have them.
Ah, well, wouldn't you know? This is my last one.
Well, it's too bad. But no, description, tiefling,
All right.
That's helpful.
average
Not
looking.
All right.
He
What kinda-
recently acquired an injury. Scar across his left eye.
That's descriptive.
Yeah, he did some nasty business.
Well, if we see him around, we'll make sure and call you guys.
What
Yeah.
color tiefling?
It's
What's his
above
skin?
your pay grade there, boy.
You told us about the scar. I figure this is, we're just trying to be concerned citizens here. Always wanted and all.
Zarga, I know you. You're no concerned citizen.
You got
When did
me.
you become patriotic out of nowhere?
Ever since we got this case, I was a little curious.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what they say about curiosity, right?
Kills
you
the
learn
cat, but
from
I ain't
it,
no fucking cat.
Albert, you save him all the time. He sits there and he goes, well, gentlemen, thank you for stopping by. I'm glad I got to see you all again. He sits there and he goes, have a good one. Me and the boys, we got this covered. So you guys go back to doing what you're doing and have a good time.
Well, thank you. Well, you have a good one too,
Sits there and he
boy.
goes, and he walks away.
Damn upper
Gives you
crust.
the finger guns too.
What a prick.
I'm gonna walk. Bartholomew's gonna walk outside, and Is there like a pillar or is there a wall or something?
There's a pillar. There's lots of
I'm
these
gonna
things.
I'm gonna punch it. I'm just gonna just punch it a few times and then
Zarga's
just
gonna walk
breathe.
up behind, put his hand on him. Hey.
Then
Listen,
he
where's
kept
the
going,
District
you
4? You don't want to draw any more attention.
Oh,
to
I'm
it.
sorry.
We already
I'm
get- Let's get on that train and
Sun
let's get
will
back to
come
26.
out tomorrow.
Yeah, it will. Now let's get back on this train and get back to 26. Come on.
So you guys, are you guys going back in the sky?
Man, yeah, I would say let's stop by to buy more cigarettes, but they're probably a lot
Can
more
we find
expensive
a-
up here.
Can we find a place to talk, to chat, yeah?
That was the plan.
Yeah.
As we're leaving the building,
Sorry, I'm excited.
Shane was around him for long enough. Did he get a smell of him?
Of galleys?
No, Renee.
Renee? Yeah. He had perfume.
I'd like to roll just a tracking check, survival or investigation or perception.
I think
Otherwise,
that's a survival check.
okay. I want to see where he's been in the last little bit.
He's got that sniffer.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. That's a 16.
16. He's been. I'm gonna say you can dissect that he's been in this building a lot. He's been bouncing back and forth from what looks to be, you trail off. It looks to be going towards the Gold District, which is
Okay.
big capital boy.
big, yeah.
District precinct 1 is what it would be. He's been bouncing back and forth from there and there. He hasn't probably done really any big investigating yet. They
Okay.
probably just now got this case. So
Okay.
is what you're
Thank you.
determining.
Thank you.
So are we gonna talk on the train heading back or what's the?
I was planning on just trying to ditch anybody who was watching us.
Can
So-
we find a private alley or just somewhere to talk?
Yeah, there's lots of those. You can just find. I'm
Just
gonna
walking
find a little
towards the
pod.
train station, making it look good.
Mhm.
And so,
You guys go into an alley.
yeah.
You guys kind of slink by. We have like a wide of you guys going into an alleyway, and we cut inside, like the inside of the alley.
Alrighty, boys. So, looks like a good friend here's got himself into some deep shit.
As you say that, the power up here starts to go out. It's like.
Now that is, sun's still.
Can
out,
I make a
right?
perception check around us?
Sure.
I just want to make sure no one's creeping.
Well, we're all on the same grid here, I guess. It makes sense.
That'd be a 11, bruv.
It just seems like it's
Okay, I
common.
just like with
Yeah.
it going out.
Yeah, there's no one. There's just no one like. So you're even more hidden.
Fellas, so on our way out, I got a whiff of Renee, and
That a
it
boy.
feels like, at least to my tracking abilities, that we are either right at the same or a step ahead at this point.
So he doesn't know shit.
Oh, hey,
That-
what
that-
you know?
Probably got the case this morning. I mean, he came from the Gold District, and I don't think a blood hunter's hanging out with
Well,
the mayor.
Wait. I mean, we've never had this kind of a lead on him. We have to find him.
So Zarga's gonna take the handkerchief out of his pocket and kind of open it. But I want you to look at this. He's gonna toss it.
Okay.
I want you to get anything you can after that. Read it over 1,000,000
Okay,
times.
what am I missing from here? Is there any type of cipher? Is there a?
Roll an investigation check on it. The blood's on there.
That's a 20.
So it's just the wording. The red's the way to go. It leads to the gate to my heart. And with the little bit of blood that's on there that you know already belongs to Gallius, if you would like, you can pull from the tower, and maybe,
Yeah,
you
I'll do
might
it.
get some. There we go. There we go. One of our intrepid heroes has decided to play with fate. As you can see, he's currently deciding where to pull from this masterful tower. He's examining closely, trying to figure out the mystery of where to find this cutter. As he looks, he's trying to find the perfect piece, the perfect string of fate to pull. And so, Bartholomew successfully has tempted fate. We'll now see what happens to him and his fellows. Now, Bartholomew, right? The hint is right? That the line that's there is actually directions. So, I'm going to say you can refer to a physical piece of paper that you guys have, and that might reveal your answer fully.
And hold on, I think I have an idea.
So remember, the line is, red's the way to go. It leads to the gate to my heart.
Right. Red line. The red line.
Yeah, the train.
Gate. What district has a gate?
Gate district.
No, the gate. Yep, that, honestly, yeah, that makes sense.
So, gentlemen, I guess we're going on another train ride.
My God, it's a freaking road trip.
Well, looks like we'll be getting home pretty late this evening.
If we get home at all.
So as that happens, the lights turn back on. You notice some of the lights are as it kind of slowly the lights starting to turn back on. You see as it tears up.
Well, ain't that just the way?
So, Botch, I want you guys to be watching our backs. Right? This district, precincts 1 through 4 ain't to be messed with. If they got some heavies going after this guy, I don't want to be caught by surprise.
I'll make sure Key Fine flies ahead of us.
Right.
Make sure we're all right.
Doc, hope you packed some medical supplies.
We'll be covered, for the most part.
As covered as we ever are, right?
And it's about right. You know it.
Alrighty, boys. Back to the train.
So as you guys start walking back to the train doors open up. The steam kind of happens. And it slowly starts to start to engulf you guys, and all you see is your silhouettes. And the lights again start to go out. And we fade to black. And that's where we end it for tonight.
Red is the way to go. It leads to the gate to my heart. The message that has propelled our heroes into a fate unknown to them. What will they find at the Gate District? Why was Eleanor running? Who's this Carter? And how does this tie into the destinies of our 4 heroes? All will be revealed in time. But for now, the gears of fate are paused, the record still. For this is the conclusion of tonight's program. Have a good evening, dear listener.
Living for you is easy living. It's easy to live when you're in love, and I'm so in love. There's nothing in life but you. I'll never regret the years I'm giving.